Hey y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Get in here, get in here. Please get in here. Y'all, this episode here, again, I apologize for, not being Johnny on the spot 5 to 10 minutes after the episode, but y'all know how it go. If I got to sit there and make sure I got the conversation straight, it's going to take me a little while to get in here, but I need y'all to hit the like button as you come in the door because we got quite a bit to get through tonight and we got to get to some stuff. And honey, auntie don't want to have to be stopping to beg for likes. So please hit the like button as you come in the door. Please put your like number in the chat. Please know that you are highly, highly welcome in this place. Okay, we happy to have you. The quick housekeeping before we get down to the get down, like button, like number in the chat. Remember to greet folks as they come in. If it's somebody you haven't seen in a while, make sure that you tell them welcome back. And if it's somebody that you ain't never seen before, if I miss them, don't you miss them. Tell them welcome. If you're new here with us, please put first time or FTL in the chat so that we can welcome you personally and individually because we are indeed happy to have you here. Okay, now y'all know this is front porch gossip, even though I'm sitting in the bedroom gossiping with y'all tonight. So this is where we come together as family to talk about these people, okay? And tonight ain't no different. So make sure if y'all do use bad words in my chat, this ain't Sunday school. If you cuss, your cuss is cool. Just make sure you misspell your cuss words in my chat. Don't spell them right. At least spell them wrong, okay? And make sure there's also no bickering or arguing in my chat. No disrespect of any kind will ever be tolerated. So please don't you ever try it. Remember to be kind to your moderators. They're here to make sure that the chat is a pleasant experience for you, okay? So be kind to your moderators. Please be kind to your host. And in turn, I will be kind to you. Remember that your favorite may not be someone else's and vice versa. So if you have to disagree, please agree to disagree respectfully. All right. Remember where you are. Okay. And remember when you sitting on my channel, when you here hanging with Auntie, understand it's important that you understand that I don't like none of these heifers. So please don't expect me to go easy on anybody because I never, ever do. Okay. I never do. Right? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I don't go easy on anybody. Put a 1 if you've been here before and you know just how rough it can get for these TV heifers. Y'all know I don't spare them. Okay, so put your 1 in if you know where you are. I want to make sure everybody's aware of where they are because I don't want no crying later. I don't want no crying later when Auntie got to drag them across the porch and rip the skin off their knees, okay? All right. All right. Y'all come on in and get comfortable. We got to talk about these hookers tonight. We got to talk about them tonight. And I don't know that anybody's going to be spared. I don't know. I'm trying to just off the top of my head, trying to consider. Hey, Jax, my day was blessed. How about yours? Hey, Winvin. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if anybody is going to be spared. And right off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone who is going to be spared this evening. I think I got a little sprinkle for everybody. I believe I do. I don't think anybody escaped me this evening. I don't think so. So just be ready. Okay, get ready. As always, we have our vertical stream up as well. When I shut down this vertical stream over here, the icon for the channel is still going to show you that I'm live. So please click on the icon for the channel and it'll bring you over to our regular chat. And those of you on the regular chat, don't go nowhere because you're already in the right place. Let me greet who's here. And we're going to get into this in here. Gossip. Hey, Brooklyn Queen for you. You know you in the vertical, girl. When I shut it down, you know to come to the main chat. All right. Makeup Addict, we're so glad to see you. Make sure you hit that right one. Yes, girl. She said Porsha has really grown. The old Porsha would have dragged Shamea across that table. That's what Shamea wanted because she needed Porsha to fulfill the, her narrative that Portia's a big mean bully. Hey, Gossip News, where you been? You think I forgot? You just gonna pop back up in here like I ain't noticed you missing? I know you been gone. Bianca the Beautiful is here. Our head archangel is here. She's telling y'all to please hit the like button. Get your treats. Get your shoes off, get comfortable. Priscilla Clemens, thank you for being like number 3. All right. Thank you for being number 1, Gossip News. The Lauren Brown, my good sis, is like number 6. My good sis, Magaline, is number 7. My lovely Belicious is number 6. Look at all these beautiful ladies. Miss Nisi is number 10. So glad to have you. All right, N. Watson. Hey now, how you doing? Good evening. Hit the like button. Delicia, our good sis is number 5. All right, all right. Yeah, we got to get into some stuff tonight, honey. A lot of these heifers had their slips hanging this evening, and we're going to talk about them. We're not sparing anybody, so y'all come on and get comfortable. Get your snacks while I'm greeting folks. Deborah Randall is here, so Housewives Talk is legal. Thank you for being here, dear sister. Hit the like button. Kimberly Day, how you doing, lovely? Happy Sunday. Hit the like button. Aries Diva, thank you for being number 12. Sunshine, etc. How you doing? Ooh. Thank you for being number 2. Kimberly Day was actually number 15. You already hit it. I appreciate you. Queen of Hearts KS is 14. My good nephew is number 10. Weekend was good. I got a lot of rest. I really did. Yeah, we're going to get to the bottom of it, honey. I smell mess on the mama drama. Okay. All right, we got a weird person that thinks it's okay to spam my chat, even on a vertical. That will get you blocked. All right. Look at you all ignorant and stuff. Z Molly, thank you for being number 21. Michelle Montague, hey love, hit the like button. Black Smile, thank you for being 19. You and D Crazy, D Amazing DS. She's here for the Reflection Corner and for you with her wild self. Miss Lovely T is 27. Teresa, hey girl, thank you for being 23. Our dear Grace 4P is 22. Nap Queen, New Orleans. Hey, darling. Thank you for being number 28. Lynette is 22. Deborah's 26. Ladies, get in here and get comfortable. Make sure that y'all are hitting the like button. Don't forget your engagement button on the bottom right-hand side. Tap it and send up those bubbles. You know I am sensitive, so I need it. Y'all, we got Miss Sparkle here, our resident Mary Kay lady, reminding y'all to hit the like button. Y'all send her lots of positive energy and love in the chat because you know our sister has been going through it, but we are still here for her. We love you, girl. Richard Wilson, thank you for being 42. Wicked, I'm just glad you hit it, baby. You was one of them. Auntie Eva's 44. All right, y'all come on in and get comfortable. Yeah, we got to dig in tonight. Y'all, we got foolishness in masses this evening. These heifers was on one. They was on one tonight. Hey, Symmetry, that's right. Tell them to hit the like button. I hope you hit it too. Now put your like number in the chat. Okay. All right, y'all come on in and get comfortable, get comfortable, get comfortable. Texas Passion, thank you for being number 50. Okay. Hi, Alex. Oh, you're in Crimea. Well, isn't that special? All the way in Crimea. It's so good to meet you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We over here in America. Mm-hmm. But welcome to you all the way in Crimea, political junkie. Hey, Sharon, thank you for being number 53, girl. Come through, come through. Listen, so yeah, we got to get into it. Child, our emotional support cat is back. Mm-hmm. This is our girl, Garnet. Her royal title is Garnet the Fancy. I do not know why Garnet the Fancy is over here being extra tonight. By Garnet the Fancy. But yes, so I guess she gonna hang out so she can give y'all her opinion on what happened on RHOA tonight as well. AP, how you doing, boo? Hit the like button. Hey, Jenny Patterson, thank you for being 56. Shonda Love, you had a couple of fumes. I understand, Gossip News. We just glad you back, baby. Thank you for being 54, Shonda. It was a mess tonight. It really was. Queen thank you for being 62, sis. Big sis Candace, hey, honey, hit the like button for me. I'm glad you're here. All right, so listen, y'all come on in. Adrian Marie, thank you for the super sticker. Y'all is my first supporter the entire evening. I appreciate you. My girl Iron Butterfly is number 70. I'm so glad to see y'all. So look, right before we get into it, because I think I about done spoke to everybody, almost. Cosmic Queen, thank you for being 108. My girl Nika J, thank you for being 74. Antoinette, thank you for being 75. But y'all ready to admit Shamea's the big old liar? Those and this not for everybody because most of us have, you know, accepted that Shamea is a big old liar. But for the people who are still holding out hope for that hooker, are y'all ready to admit Shamea is a big old liar? Are we ready? Oh, are y'all still not ready? If y'all not ready, I'm gonna ease you into it. I ain't gonna just, you know, throw you in the water. I'm gonna let you ease into it if you need to ease into it. Amy J, thank you for being 109. Pink Pilates Princess in the house. Ooh, MW Smith, how you doing? Hey, boo, hit the like button. Classic Quilla, thank you for being number 80. Y'all run my likes up. Please don't make me beg you. We got to get through some stuff tonight. Are we ready to accept that? Hold on, let me end this vertical. Folks over here, family over here. I'm getting ready. I am from Ocala, Florida. Alex, Ocala, Florida, USA. Hey, Tamika, we on the other live. So I'm getting ready to end this vertical. When I shut it down, hit the icon for the channel, and it will bring you to the main chat. Okay, so as soon as I end it, come on over. And y'all over here, don't go nowhere because you're already in the right place. Let me end this vertical so we can get into this gossip. Because, baby, is y'all ready to admit that girl is a big old liar? Antoinette, I'm tired of them trying to say she's a victim too. Let me tell y'all something. I almost went live yesterday. I did. I almost went live yesterday and I stopped myself because I felt like I had something better to do, like scratching my left boob. I felt like even scratching my left titty was more important than talking about Shamea and her paid bloggers. Okay? Because it got so bad yesterday, I watched two of them sit on a platform and do a hit job on everybody on that cast that don't like Shamea. And I'm like, at this point, y'all being so obvious about your check that I can't even pretend not to see it no more. Juan, what's up? How you doing, fam? Hit the like button for me, please. And thank you, Sasha Bunny. Thank you for being 87. Absolutely. I can't take no more. I can't take no more off Shamea. I've had it up to here. I've had it up to here. Shamea, Terry McCauley, Shamea, big liar, huge one, huge liar, huge one. Loves to play victim. I ain't seen nothing like this you know, a lot of times we like to say we ain't seen something like something in a long time. Thank you for being 85, Juan. But I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't seen nothing like this ever. Hey, Carrie Clark, thank you for being number 91. And I done seen a lot. Okay, I'm from Florida. I worked in prisons. I done seen some con artists. Okay, I have. Thank you for being 91, Carrie. Brooklyn Queen for you. Thank you for being number 90. Girl, you know I got the notebook. Listen, Sunshine, I got the notebook from that live stream where two bloggers, clearly paid bloggers, sat up there and did a hit on everybody who had an issue with Shamea, pretending like these people was doing stuff they wasn't even doing. Hey, Royal D15. Shamea was so pissed Porsha and Kelly made up. That's what set her off. That's what it is. That's what sent her over the edge. That's what sent her. As soon as her and Kelly had a little pleasant moment, that heifer went to blinking and going, I said, oh, no, she glitching. She glitching. Yeah, scratching my left titty was more important than talking about her. Shamea dropped a missile on Porsha, and Porsha dropped the atom bomb and left a mushroom cloud over. Sure did. Sure did. Girl, yes. Yes, child. I ain't never seen nothing like it. This my girl, Ian McKinney. Hey, sis. Girl, congratulations on your 8-month royal anniversary. I can't really believe her either. Like, I knew the girl was a liar, but I ain't know she was finna go as far as she went. But we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Hold on. Because I'm missing stuff. Oh, Nap Queen New Orleans sent me a cash out. Let me send my sis a heart back. Thank you so much. This is my second support of the whole night. I got to send a heart. Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. She said, thank you for being you. And thank you for being you too, sister. Listen, I appreciate all y'all being real because there's so much fakery and foolishness going on that, listen, real people are rare and at a premium. Hyper 12488 say, yeah, I caught the live. I can't believe Shamea went there tonight and for no reason. Shamea was mad. Porsha bonded with Kelly the night before. That's what it was. That is what it was. That's what sent her over the edge. Who's this? Shanika Renes. Welcome, honey. Thank you for being like number 97. Is this your first time here? Please let us know so we can welcome you. That is a beautiful picture, by the way. That skin is nice. It's flawless. Hey, Kat. Thank you for being number 95. Too feisty. Where you been? You showed up right on time because we got to talk about these heifers. We got to talk about them tonight. Thank you for being 98, honey. Hey, it's Tish. Hit the like button, baby. Hit it. Yeah, Brent, wait a whole year because she wanted to get in front of the camera to do it, to try to humiliate Miss Diane like she tried to do last year. Oh, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. It was definitely a planned attack, honey. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being 100, Miss McKinney, my good sis. Anne Marie, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being 101. Yeah, she came with an agenda and it flopped like a dirty dish rag on an unmopped floor. It just flopped so bad. Brandon Martin, hey Shug, thank you so much for the super chat. Brandon say, hey Nitra, happy Sunday family. Phaedra clocked it from taking cash over teeth. Why would you ask which brother? New season of Project Runway started. How come you not on it? Because I don't know how to get on TV Plus. TV add 30 pounds and I'm a big girl. I can't afford that. I can't afford it. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate the support. And sis, I appreciate you again. That was so sweet of you. And thank you for thinking of me. Okay. So let's get into it, child. I'm making sure I ain't miss nobody. DV, thank you for being 109. Listen, it's about 50 of y'all ain't hit the like button, and that's a problem for me. That's a problem for me. I need y'all to actually hit it, okay? I need y'all to actually hit that like button. Please and thank you. Making sure we got everybody. I don't want to miss nobody. That's my niece, Pink Pilates Princess. I knew you was in here, but I didn't see your like button. I was looking for it and I missed it. Hyper, thank you for being 103. Is this your first time hanging with us live? If so, please let me know. Girl, yes. They forgot that girl took anger management. And it worked. It worked. Child, Porsha done reformed her attitude like she had to pay monthly probationary money or something. You know, that's normally how people straighten out after that, after they done had to pay some money. Hey, Gaby, thank you for being 115. How that baby doing? Georgia Peach, on my way to work, caught a lad. Wanted Porsha to revert to old tonight, but she didn't. Yeah, that's what they was doing. That's what she was doing. Yeah, to try to call somebody mama a hoe and then your mama get called a hoe on the ricochet is crazy. Black Lassa, thank you for being 118. You knew? Listen, y'all. Chop, chop. Special K 4645 is brand new. I need y'all to spam the chat with the word welcome because we are so pleased to have you here. Please subscribe. Please don't let this be your last time. Please come back again. We're so pleased to have you. And make yourself at home. You don't have to like one particular person or another. You ain't got to like none of them. Just come on in and make yourself at home. Hey, TG, y'all spam the chat with the word welcome. Hyper, it's your second time. Well, welcome back, honey. TG, thank you for being 103. All right. So look, we're going to get into these notes, okay? Because I'd be so happy to see everybody. And if I don't start the notes, we won't start them. If I don't start the notes, we won't ever start them. You are so welcome, Special K. You so welcome. Hey, Shakuru. How you doing, sis? So let's get into this thing. Shall we? How many pages was that? We got about a good 6 pages of notes. Utrina Johnson. Hey, lady. Hit the like button for me. She's so lovely. We have some really beautiful sisters here, and I'm so glad to see y'all. So glad to see you. Sis say we need 45 of y'all to hit the like button, and we truly do need you to do it. I do not care to stop to do a Turkish lesson tonight. All right. Shakuru, thank you so much for the super sticker, sis. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. All right, Catherine Bennett is 128. Thank you, lady. Listen, y'all continue to greet folks as they come in. If you don't mind, y'all know that is not just my business or a moderator's business. That is royal family business. So make sure y'all are greeting folks as they come in. All right. So day 2 in Scotland, right? It starts off ordinary enough. We see the ladies getting dressed for the cold. They getting dressed for the cold. Hey, Camille Fun. And everybody's putting on their fur line things and their hats and their gloves. Everybody looked so lovely. I can say nobody looked bad. Everybody looked nice. And y'all know that doesn't happen often. There's usually at least one or two people who look crazy as hell, and we can't figure out why. But everybody looked super nice. They came on downstairs. They sat down. The breakfast looked healthy and nutritious. There were fruits. I was like, okay, maybe a little boring to start with, but sometimes boring is good. We don't need mess 24/7. Carrie Clark, thank you so much for the super sticker, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you, and thank you again. I appreciate you so much. So look, they get down there. They get to talking. Phaedra decides she gonna let the women know she tried to look on the nasty people website that K. Michelle told them about the night before. Okay? They up there talking about a tasty black and all that. And so I said, oh my, not she up here talking about she tried to look at the site. I didn't know where they was going with this. But then that was for her to let them know that Scotland got apparently better morals than America, because you can't even look that mess up over there. Okay? Porsha made a joke of it in the confessional, saying you got to download it in America first, in Sodom and Gomorrah first, and then watch it on your device that you downloaded it on. I just said, my Lord and my God. Okay, y'all just nasty for no reason. Okay, but they had a little kiki over that, and I mean, I couldn't join in on the kiki, but I'm just at that point, I was just kind of grateful they wasn't bickering and arguing, because it's first thing in the morning. While they were in Dallas first thing in the morning, we had K. Michelle crying at breakfast instead of eating. So this is an improvement for this group. Even though, the improvement was from crying over breakfast to talking dirty over fruit, So I'll take it. Sinclair Baptiste, thank you for being number 168. Kimberly Day, thank you so much for the super sticker, sis. I appreciate you. Yeah, Anne Marie, they're just nasty. Them heifers nasty. So after that, they had a little joke or whatever, and they said, where is Angela? Phaedra definitely made light of all the Bigfoot talk about Angela's feet. She said, all right, now y'all go find Angela. Make sure she ain't get her foot caught in something, because, she's Bigfoot. And, she was being playful about it. Angela took it playful. She didn't take no offense. Thank goodness, because we know when Angela take offense, she be on the warpath. She get a tomahawk and be on the warpath. So thank goodness. Phaedra was joking. Angela knew it was a joke. It didn't go nowhere. I was like, thank you, Lord, because that could have went so far left, and I'm just grateful it did not. So anyway, after that, they head out for the Highland games. The Highlands, the Highlanders, Scottish Highlands, all that, all of the above, right? So Phaedra coordinated an activity so that they could have the mini Highland games. So they had something they called tabor toss. If I'm saying it wrong, one of y'all please correct me. Tabor toss, hammer toss, and tug of war. So they out there doing their thing. K. Michelle, she the first one I gotta get. I don't know why people get money and want to do things that's not of our culture. Stop right there. First of all, stop policing other people's blackness. I'm just going to say it. If nobody else says it, I'm going to say it. I saw the same two bloggers that were clearly on Shamea's payroll that was dragging everybody through the mud, including her, that even accused her of doing country music because she wanted proximity to whiteness. Never mind the fact that country music is just as black as every other genre of music that black people created. But now here she is on here talking about people get money and want to do things that's not of our culture. My question then to Kimberly Michelle, Memphis's own, who are really starting to give me vibes that it may be some lead in the water. Who told you that Black Americans are not allowed to engage in other people's cultures? Everybody else can engage in ours, but if we engage in other people's cultures, it's never broadening our horizons. It's never just experiencing something different. It has to be seen as a negative. Who told you that Black people are so myopic and so one note that we can't enjoy things from other cultures? I mean, after all, we're the one group of people who will enjoy things from other people's cultures without trying to steal them. K. Michelle made herself sound extremely ignorant without any provocation. Like nobody asked her for that. And yet she still managed to be the most ignorant heifer in the room. Real tired of her, especially coming from somebody who was, acting like she was so above everyone and even picking on Drew for being dumb and not having a degree. Okay. Hey, oh, so pretty. Say, not Shamea mama sleeping with the brother-in-law. Child, listen. That's why y'all not to sling mud, because it might be some waiting on you too. Okay, Michelle needs to worry about securing a cleanup crew for her personal use. DS, go on and open up that reflection cone, sis, because that's looking real similar to a 22-second violation. That is the point of being free. But the fact that K. Michelle thinks that Blackness is something that's supposed to be performed, and it's supposed to be a shackle or a burden that keeps us in line, and we're only allowed to do things that belong to our culture, while simultaneously feeling like other people have every right to our culture. It's a bit creepy. Dana Brown, thank you for being 149. Sean Living Life says, Leaky K talking about Black folks engaging in other people's culture while sitting here trying to look like a white woman. Is that what she doing? I ain't gonna say it, but that, that's what he say. So anyway, I just thought that was incredibly ignorant. But back to our regularly scheduled notes. So after the whole the tabor toss thing, Shamea made a tasteless joke about her husband's genitalia, saying she's used to handling big logs. And I'm just like, nobody wants to think about your husband's genitals. You shouldn't want anybody thinking about your husband's genitals. Just seems a little tasteless to me. But what do I know? I just may be too Baptist for that conversation. As y'all know on this channel, there are some conversations that I'm just a little too Baptist for, and that might have been one of them. But anyway, I digress. Moving right along. Hey, Cornelius. So then you get Angela struggling with the table toss, and she blames, I had an injured rotator cuff and, whatever. And Phaedra made her jokes about, hey, Latrice, thank you for being 141. Phaedra made her jokes about Angela needing to stick to being a private detective because that's what she good at. Leave the athletic stuff to Charles. I'm sorry, but I agree with Phaedra. And furthermore, Angela, cut the crap. It's not that your shoulder is injured. It's the fact that you're just not athletic. You're not strong. You're not any of the things that Shamea calls you, big or burly or any of that. Angela is a girly girl. Now that's what it is. And it's okay to be a girly girl. You're just not very strong. You don't have a lot of upper body strength. And that's okay. Cut the crap. Angela has a hard time admitting that she's not better than everybody at everything at all times. Girl, get a grip on reality, because she love to call people delusional, but I promise you she in the top 3. Hey, DG, that's right. Furthermore, sometimes we got to go a little bit further, a little bit further down the line. So that's where we had to go. So we got through that. Then we get to this hammer toss situation. Furthermore, back to this table toss situation. Did y'all get a good laugh at Phaedra trying to do it? She couldn't do it with the gloves on. Shamea took the gloves. She couldn't do it with the gloves off. And she talking about she got Michelle Obama arms. No, you don't. But her nails was in the way. No, Phaedra, you not athletic either. Just like Angela need to leave the athleticism to Charles Oakley, well, you need to leave it to him too, or somebody else that's an athlete, because you ain't no athlete. Phaedra, you look great, honey, but athlete you not. So then we get to the hammer toss, all of them participating in that. They throwing the hammer. It's kind of boring. Everybody just throwing hammers. Porsha won. The man say Porsha won. And, Porsha was like, leave it to her to win something that ain't got no winner. I mean, but I'm looking like, who else was going to win? But I'm going to be quiet because I'm not trying to say nothing out the way about Porsha. She's still feminine. We just know that's a big old corn-fed girl. And that's nothing taken away from her femininity, her womanhood, or anything else. But y'all know that's a big, strong country girl. So then we get to the tug of war. Now, Kay had to sit it out. Now, they tried to play it off and was like, oh, I don't even remember who said it. Was like, oh, Kay, you've been drinking, you sit it out. Which, that's one part of it. Angie girl, thank you for being 147. But listen, K. Michelle called it like it was. She said she couldn't run the risk of falling on her reconstructed backside. And I totally agree. That was the most responsible decision. I like that she made light of it. You know, I think she said reconstructed, double reconstructed, whatever terminology she used. It was a very responsible decision on her part. Joke or no joke, she's had surgery, she's had complications. I'm glad she chose not to do it. You know, plus she had been drinking. But then she had to throw the shot in there. I don't know nothing about these people's health care. Okay, K. Michelle. Okay. I just felt like that was a very interesting jab coming from somebody who had to have 15 surgeries because you got questionable health care on your backside that now everybody has to tiptoe around, because now if you're leaking fluid, we have to assume it comes from your butt cheek, which is something that don't happen in normal folks. But, you know, by all means, let's fixate on healthcare in Scotland, because that's what's important, because it was absolutely the Scottish people who botched your booty. It was them who did it. It was them. Hey, J. Rochelle, thank you for being 149, honey. Appreciate you. Yes. Interesting. Very interesting. So anyway, they did the whole thing. You had Porsha, Angela, Drew, and Pinky on the team. Then the other team, hey, Quiet Storm, thank you for being number 146. Right, too fast. And then drinking on medication. All that. Let's blame Scotland. Blame Scotland. No matter what, blame Scotland. Just like people over here blame Rock Nation for everything. Let's just go and blame Scotland. But who was on the other team? You had Cynthia, Shamea, Kelly, and who was over there with them? Cynthia, Shamea, Kelly, and who else? Y'all tell me. Well, whoever the fourth person, Phaedra. That's why I couldn't think of Phaedra, and it's her birthday trip. Well, they lost. Let's just say that they lost. It was no way to win, really. You had Pinky, who is real solid in her legs. You could tell Pinky got some good leg strength, and she's solid. Drew heavy. Angela's got a good sturdy body, and Porsha, you know, Portia's Porsha. Y'all wasn't beating them big old women like that. It wasn't gonna happen. So they pulled it, which was funny. But what was even funnier was the fact that Kelly got drugged. I'm glad that she could joke about it and laugh about it. But it was like, first of all, Kelly, let go of the rope. Kelly crazy as hell. Soon as them big old women grabbed that rope, Kelly was supposed to take her hands off that rope like this. Because the rest of them dropped the rope. Kelly still holding on to the rope. She on her back, legs kicked up like a la cucaracha, like a whole cockroach. And I'm just glad that she made a joke about it. Because what else you gonna do? Make a big old joke about it? You know Drew heavy. Drew heavy. She ain't small. Those some good sized women. I'm not saying heavy like fat, but she's a heavy girl. And they weren't gonna beat those girls. They were not gonna beat them. But yeah, Kelly had a good joke about it. Like she said, I was on my back, but I wasn't with nobody's husband. Angela in the confessional talking about it felt so good to drag Kelly, because I've been wanting to drag Kelly. I'm like, wow, you wanted to drag her? Did Kelly do enough to get dragged? I didn't even know. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all knew Angela wanted to drag Kelly. I didn't know she wanted to drag Kelly. Y'all knew that? Because I promise you, I didn't know that. Like, I know they had a little back and forth here, and like not even real back and forth. I didn't know that Angela wanted to drag Kelly, but I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, maybe from last season. I see some tools, so y'all knew. I didn't let you know what I know. So then Phaedra brings the people in talking about giving them treats. And the treats that she went to talking about she was going to give the people was haggis and hot chocolate. I say, wee. Now listen, I'm all for trying some new stuff. I am. I'm all for trying some new stuff. I really, really am. And I don't mind. There's my sister, Alita. Thank you for being 153. But haggis? Eek. Well, she said it was intestines and brains. I was always under the impression that the haggis was the stomach. It was stuffed with stuff. Whatever it is, I know I didn't want none. but they gave it to him. She even had somebody make some vegan haggis for Pinky. You know, Phaedra gonna be a class act if she don't be nothing else. She gonna do that. And McKinney, thank you for the super chat. She says she's still mad over what about the baby though. Oh, that must be what it was. Yep, y'all saying it. Y'all saying it. Thank you, Ian McKinney, for the super chat. Cosmic Connection say Angela ain't forgot about how about that baby though. That's what happened. That explains it. You know what? My bad. Because Angela don't let nothing go. Angela lets nothing go. Pink Pilates Princess says she want the vegan haggis. Baby, if I gotta eat it, it's gonna be vegan. I'm not eating no Now I had a granddaddy that would eat pork brains and eggs. You know, that was the thing. You know, some country people from way back, y'all know about the pork brains and eggs and all that. And what they used to call it in Florida, that was a Georgia thing. I know Florida, the people out in the forest would eat what they call it, scrapple, and that had the brains and stuff in it. But I'm just not gonna eat that. I'm not gonna eat that. But that's what she gave them with hot chocolate. They tasted it. I did not do that. Lauren Brown say we do eat scrapple. Yo, folks eat it. Yeah, my granddaddy would eat the pork brains and eggs. I'm not eating any brains of any kind. Let me just go ahead and disabuse you of that notion. I'm country as a sugar sandwich, but there's a line, and my line is right there at the brains. Porsha had a little jokey joke and was like, you know, Phaedra taking this mortician thing way too far. Hey, Paige, hit the like button, sis. Hit it. Okay. Lauren says she's in Pennsylvania and they'll eat the scrapple. Ooh, no. You can have mine. You can have mine. Yeah. Lynette says she eat it every Sunday. Y'all can have my share. Take mine. Scrapple. Yes. Y'all can have my share. I promise. I ain't gonna fight you for it. So I'm country, but I'm not that country. You know. Hey, I respect it though, but they did the whole thing. They sat down for lunch. And then when they sat down to the table, okay, they sat down at the table, and then Porsha said, well, Kelly, how you doing this morning? This is where everything went sideways. And some of y'all know it's the truth. I need y'all to click the like button. Please run my likes up. I'm looking at these likes and it's not right. You eat the tacos de cabeza? Pink Pilates Princess, you eat the tacos de cabezas? With that stuff in it? See, we got more in common than we got different look like sometimes. But look, that's where everything went sideways, y'all, because Porsha asked Kelly, well, how you doing since last night? Kelly says she felt a whole lot better, you know, and everything was cool and whatever. Mind you, they talking, here comes Rue, putting herself in the middle of the mix. Yeah, they ain't but 157 likes. Y'all ain't right. That's 70 people sitting in my house and won't say hello. The like button is the least you can do, because that's at least you saying, hey, girl, you sitting in my house, say hey. Bianca say, I ain't eating no brains and eyeballs now. I know that's right. I will eat some hog head cheese, though. I will do that. I am that country. But listen, why Drew jumped in it, I don't know. It's almost like Drew want to be in the mix, even when ain't nobody inviting her in the mix. Here comes Drew jumping in. Oh, that was great being fake. It was liberating. It's the first time I felt like we all bonded. Blase, squaze, boop, boop, boop. Hey, Arturo. You was cleaning the kitchen, but you're number 27. I thank you. And everybody got past her like she ain't even talking. I was so grateful, because Drew, stop trying to insert yourself. Girl, you just not that interesting. So then, you know, they got past that. Kelly and Porsha went back to talking to each other like Drew never opened her mouth. I'm like, boy. Drew, listen, focus on arguing with Shamea and K. Michelle, because them two people talking ain't got nothing to do with you. So they, you know, Porsha and Kelly like, oh, they so glad they made up. Kelly talking about, you know, I hope that where we were last night, we can move forward. Somebody asked where they was, and it was like it was in Phaedra's room. Everybody bonded, kumbaya. Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. They was doing all that thing, and baby, the whole time Shamea sitting up there doing this, cutting her food. And I'm sitting there like, you gonna keep on blinking your eyes like that? Hey, Connie Cummins. Houston at the house. I know that's right. All right. And I'm sitting there like, you upset because these women ain't arguing? Shamea, if you that upset because these women have decided to no longer argue and degrade each other, calling each other all different breeds and brands of hoes, it makes one question, what did you benefit from them arguing? I'm gonna say it again. Shamea, if you were that disturbed, upset, and bothered about these women deciding to no longer rip each other to shreds on camera, what did you stand to gain from them bickering and arguing and degrading each other? For what reason? Okay, for what? So then she gonna, in her confessional talking about if Porsha can't forgive other people but not me, and I seen this before, and I'm just sitting there like, oh girl, the nasty coming off of you. You just a nasty McNugget. Hey Riri, see, oh girl, that picture pretty. Yep, Shamea's slip is showing. Yes, it is. The slip is showing. And talking about, we seen all that before. And then everybody just coming at me, and I'm sitting there like, who is coming at you? You right, Alita. Some people do like a chaotic environment, but we got to talk about why. Anybody who is after and trying to cultivate and continue and keep a chaotic environment is so they can hide in it. When there's order, things are exposed. It's like if your room is super clean, you're not going to lose your keys. Hey, Barbara says she hates when the ladies get along. She does. And then her paid bloggers have been sitting up attacking Cynthia Cheekbones Bailey for saying, Shamea, you could bring the group back together because Shamea is the cause for the schism. Excuse me, for the break in the group. Because, in case some of Shamea fans is in here, I don't want to be using words and stuff. Damaris says she just want to throw that in Shamea's face. Throw what in Shamea's face? Nobody was talking to or about Shamea. They had a whole situation the night before. Shamea wasn't even in the room. So what it had to do with somebody throwing something in Shamea's face? Shamea took it personal because she wanted to. Because Shamea been wanting to beef with Porsha, and Porsha is ignoring her. Somebody ignoring you is not throwing things in your face. People ignore you when they don't have your time. And what is given and what it has been giving all season long is that Porsha ain't got Shamea's time. She just ain't got your time. Now, who has had her time is Drew Sidora, or who I call Drew Sadummy, and Angela Liontel. Now, that's who had her time. But she didn't want them to have her time. She wanted Porsha to have her time. And Porsha ain't had her time. Living for me, welcome. This is your first time. Thank you for being like number 173. And y'all know we're going to need you to spam the chat with the word welcome. Cammy Jules. All right, look at you. Nice picture, girl. Shamea's mom T spill is null and void because she was still wanting to be Porsha's friend. Sure was, girl. Sure was. See, listen, I love a savvy queen. I love when a queen can pick up on what these people is putting down. Okay, welcome, girl. So look, she up there mad and doing all that. They tell them, y'all go get ready. Everybody went upstairs to get ready. Tell them, hey, be ready in about an hour. Everybody getting ready to go out. Y'all know how they do. They got to fix up. They got to put on the war paint, the makeup. My daddy used to say war paint. They got to put on, they smell good. They got to make sure them wigs is glued down and don't be coming loose. Got to look good. So they went up there to get they looking good on. Everybody but Shamea. Shamea decides she gonna call her mama crying on the phone. I say, I know good and well. Hey, Tasha, AK-47. I like that AK-40. You my kind of girl. And you pretty. Welcome. If it's your first time, let us know, okay? So she calling her mama, talking about Angela and George, still lying, talking about Angela said I was sleeping with George. Angela did not say you were sleeping with George. Angela implied it, that she did. And then she asked you if you was hunching, George. Hey, Big Red, welcome back, sugar. Asked you, was you doing that? And then she turned around and said, and then his wife texted me. That lady ain't just texted you. You reached out to that lady first, and she responded back and told you that that was a lie, because you told her that Angela said that that the wife said something. Angela ain't never told you that wife said nothing. Hey, Miss Weedy Pooh, thank you for being 177. Now, was Angela being vindictive and nasty? Yes, she was. But at the same time, Angela showed us last season that's exactly who she was. So she was being vindictive and nasty. But she didn't lie and say that wife told her nothing. Shamea went and told that wife that Angela said the wife said something. Yeah, don't be talking about Charles. Angela go bat crap crazy about you say anything about that man. So I don't even know why anybody mentioned Charles' name, because I wouldn't, unless I wanted some smoke. Hey, Kiana, didn't Porsha ask who said she's sleeping with George, and Angela said, I did. No, that's not what happened. She said, Porsha said, well, where did the sleeping with him come from? And Angela said, it came from me. That's what she said. She did not say, I said he slept with him. Porsha didn't, for whatever reason, wasn't understanding how it came into the conversation. And Angela said, it came from me. Hey, Yvette, this is our Birmingham beauty all the way from UK. All right. So that's how that went. Angela ain't said that you slept with that man. She implied it. And then she asked you in front of the camera, was you hunching that man? Now that's what happened. And then when Angela called that lady on the phone, hey, my sweet, when Angela called that lady on the phone, George's wife, okay, whatever her real name is, that lady outed Angela and Shamea in one phone call. She told Angela to her face, you asked me if I knew any information about Shamea, and I told you I didn't know nothing. And she told Angela that Shamea told her, she told Angela, Shamea told me that you said I said you were sleeping with my husband, or you said that I told you I thought she was sleeping with my husband. And that didn't happen. So when the wife was called by Angela on camera in front of Porsha and Phaedra, the wife outed Angela for trying to get information on Shamea after she pretended like, oh, I don't have to try to get information on you. And then she outed Shamea for lying on Angela, claiming that Angela lied on that wife, and she did not. So when the lady said Angela lied, she literally was responding to what Shamea claimed that woman said when the woman ain't said that. Okay, so both of them got outed. Okay, moving right along. But y'all know I like to keep a story straight, because we dealing with a show full of lying heifers. So it's hard sometimes to keep it straight who lying about what and when. Okay, but moving right along. So she up there telling her mom about Angela and George and everybody after me and everybody out to get me. And it's, I just feel like it's so much pressure and all that. But I'm sitting there like, girl, you went up here to call your mama to cry, basically because Porsha and Kelly just made up. So because Kelly, who's supposed to be your sidekick, just told Porsha she don't want to beef with her no more. You got so triggered you had to call your mama crying. Shamea's sick in the head, and y'all can say what you want to. That's how I feel. Now I know Lil Kim called K Michelle a bag of pecans, but right about now, Shamea looking like a bag of Brazil nuts. And I believe that too. I'm gonna leave it right there so everybody can see it, because I believe the same thing. This Miss Sarah mess, I believe that. Oh, I believe that. Ain't that something? That's true. That's true too. Hey, New Deal to me. You don't know who to believe no more? I believe the facts. And when I can track it down, then that's what I call it. I'm not taking nobody's word for nothing. Yvette say her mama sent her to do what she did because of Kelly, in my opinion. You know what? Her mama is probably the one who told her to go do that, since Kelly don't want to stay there and keep attacking Porsha for her. Brandon said, I was thinking the same thing. She's sick in the head. Yes. Good and sick. Sasha Bunny said, what kind of nuts they eat in Kenya? She that kind. Yeah, I don't know that much about East Africans. I don't know. But whatever kind of nuts they eat over there, maybe so. Hey, Born to Be Wild. Yeah, ain't that much editing in the world, honey. I believe my eyes. I believe my eyeballs. Yeah. Hey, Cent 58, thank you for being 184. Shamea mama just screamed sneaky. Sneaky as hell. Sneaky as hell. And I seen that little Rudy stuff she did last year. That lady ain't fooling me. If you from the country, you know what I mean when I say Rudy. That lady did some little Rudy stuff, and I caught her last year. Ain't fooling me. I think that's what was going on with K Michelle in that club. And I believe K, when she said that lady was holding her hand in the middle of that club or wherever the hell it was, she was doing some Rudy mess then. But I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to hush. Don't y'all go say I said nothing. But I seen the little Rudy stuff that lady was doing. Who said Diane was a saint? What I can say is we ain't seen Diane instigating no mess on that show. Arturo, we ain't seen that. And we sure ain't seen Diane doing no little Rudy stuff on the show either. Or on social media. We ain't seen Diane do nothing Rudy. Now, I done already gave Diane my critique before, but that ain't one of them. But anyway, moving right along. I ain't gonna go too far. Hey, Poetic Lyrics. Thank you for being here, baby. So look, listen. Y'all see what Cammie say. Moving right along. So then Pinky gonna ask K Michelle about Shamea. And like, how y'all doing? No, not RUDY. ROOTY. See, Paige, you from California. You don't understand, that home team lingo like that. You got to be real south to understand that Rudy. But I seen her doing some little Rudy stuff. I caught it. I ain't slow at all. Anywho, she asked her about that. What's going on with her and Shamea, and Pinky still swears she see a vibe, but she feels some energy off or whatever, yada yada yada, right? Meanwhile, Kay was like, look, she said she watched Shamea change up, how she was acting standoffish, and she don't feel like that was fair to her. And, she said that she felt like it was unfair for Shamea to say ain't nobody had her back but Kelly. And Pinky was like, she said that with you standing there? She said, yeah, with me standing there. She told Kelly, ain't nobody had my back but you. And so K Michelle was like, I ain't did nothing but have her back. And I had to say, you know what, you sure right. Because K Michelle was so busy having Shamea back, she was trying to pick beef with Porsha over stuff that didn't even make no sense. Hey, Queen Script. It didn't make no sense. You asked me if I had a miscarriage after you told us you was sitting down and then you was covered in fluid. What else in the hell is she gonna think it was after you told her you was trying to have a baby? She tried to pick a whole beef, then turned around and tried to pretend like you was gonna beef with Porsha over a dude that you wasn't really dating. Y'all dated a little bit, but not really dating. Y'all wasn't exclusive, and he had his naked feet on your kitchen counter. And you didn't even want the man, so you say. Then come to find out, Porsha had dated the man before you or something like that, and y'all weren't even friends when her and the man had dated. K Michelle absolutely had Shamea back. Excuse me. Because you trying to beef with somebody on her behalf and couldn't even come up with a legit beef. But for Shamea to say that is given, she was not happy about K Michelle deciding to make peace with Porsha and not keep beefing. And maybe she made the statement that Kelly was the only person that had her back because Kelly was deciding to keep beefing with her even when it didn't make no sense. Only for her to get, the Mike Tyson blow to the face at lunchtime to find out they was all in Phaedra room the night before singing Kumbaya. And the Kumbaya section, and then them at the table the next day with Kelly and Porsha, like, we ain't even getting along. We ain't gonna do that. We gonna move forward. Everything gonna be positive. We all bonded, and we can all just be there for each other and pull into each other and all, all the talk they be doing, because all of them fake as hell. That sent her over the edge. That's why she called her mama crying. But that's what I believe. That's why she made the statement that K Michelle felt was so unfair that Kelly was the only one that had her back. Because, hey, at least Kelly willing to keep beefing with this lady, even though she ain't really doing nothing to her. Okay, well and good. So then Pinky says to her, now see Sasha Bunny, Sasha getting into them layers like Shrek. Y'all remember Shrek said he like an onion, he got layers. Baby, Sasha Bunny done got into the layers. Sasha Bunny say, how come, excuse me, let me paraphrase in my own parlance, okay? Why come Kelly ain't tell Shamea about the makeup session? Why didn't Kelly tell Shamea about the makeup session? Right. You was in the room with them. Y'all up in there singing Kumbaya. Y'all braiding each other hair. Y'all playing light as a feather, stiff as a board. Y'all acting like it's a girl sleepover. How come you ain't go back and tell your good Judy, girl, I feel so light and wonderful and airy. I hung out with Porsha and the rest of the girls and we made up. Why come you ain't tell her that? Sasha Bunny, good question. Antoinette said, am I the only one that saw that Pinky quietly changed teams? Maybe she could have changed teams, or Pinky could be one of them people that's like, you know, I'm with Kay, and the minute it ain't good with Kay, then I'm not good with you. I feel like Pinky is more team K Michelle than team anybody. As well she should be. Lord Vet say Kelly scared to upset her landlord. You know what? And you right. Too fast to say they was in that room like that one scene in Waiting to Exhale, and Shamea was hot about it. Sure was. Sure what, baby? She was hotter than fish grease. How dare you go make up with her and I need you to attack her? She won't even talk to me, but at least you know you can attack her and get a response. Poetic Lyrics say, so in order to be Shamea friend, you have to attack Porsha, even if you look foolish while doing it. Right. And that way, even if Shamea looks stupid, you blame Porsha for whatever going on for Shamea. Anything happened to Shamea is Porsha's fault. Even if Porsha don't speak to her, just blame Porsha. Tilly say Shamea got upset when she thought she was going to lose Kelly to Porsha. Yep. Angel girl say, because she don't want to be Sister Underbridge number 2. You know what? That's a real good reason. Because I know I don't want to be Sister Underbridge now number. Not one number do I want to be. Red say Shamea is the devil. It's something wicked about that witch. Golly, y'all tough around here. Y'all tough crowd. Remind me to talk to y'all nice, because I don't want to be called none of them things. So listen. So Pinky then tries to rationalize. I don't feel like she was taking up for Shamea, but I do think she was trying to rationalize why we are seeing what we're seeing from Shamea. And even though I do not like Pinky Cole, and y'all know I normally refer to her as Stinky Cole, but Pinky has her redeeming qualities here and there. And I think she was trying to see it from more than one standpoint. Pinky said she sees Shamea fighting with everybody, you know? Like she feel like that Shamea probably feel like everybody is the enemy because she into it with everybody. She didn't, get into why she's into it with everybody. But Pinky was saying, this girl is, right now, maybe she just in battle mode. I'm into it with Angela. I'm into it with Drew. I'm mad with Cynthia because Cynthia told me the truth about myself that, you can put a stop to this. Into it with, I want to be into it with Porsha, but she won't talk to me. I was into it with Phaedra because I lied on her and I got mad because Phaedra said, well, Shamea doesn't like me. You know what I mean? So it's a lot going on. And so Pinky is saying maybe because she into it with everybody, that she feel like everybody's the enemy, everybody out to get her, and maybe she can't see who really is on her side. I'm paraphrasing for Pinky, but I feel like maybe that's what she was trying to do, like make Shamea, in a way, not excuse Shamea's behavior, but I think she was trying to make Shamea's behavior make sense, which makes sense for her to do because she don't have nothing personal with Shamea. So if I don't have nothing personal with you, I am going to try to make your behavior make sense because I don't want to believe you're just a nut because I'm out of the country with you. I need to believe you're a rational person and maybe you just been put in a awkward position. Alita say, sound like Shamea in a battle with herself. Shout out to our nephew Kendrick Lamar. in a long life battle with her goddamn self. Arturo say, I'm sick of her and Angela beef. I don't even understand why it is. I do, because Shamea said something about Charles. You can't say nothing about Charles. I don't even believe Angela could fight, but I believe she'll try to fight you. Right, Nika J? I do. I believe that Angela will try to fight you, even though I can look at Angela and tell she can't fight. But Angela will try to fight you if you say something about Charles. You just leave Charles out of whatever y'all talking about. Don Hanley say, Shamea is a pathological liar. She needs a full psychological assessment. Greetings from the UK. Enjoying your podcast as usual. Thank you, Don. Hey, Sandy Storms. Sandy say, K. Michelle don't like herself enough for somebody to like her. You ain't exactly wrong there. You're not wrong. Tasha say, worried about the information Kelly may share with Porsha. Tasha, I ain't even think of that. Why y'all ain't think of that? Tasha on to something. Maybe that's why she was so affected that she had to go call her mama crying. God almighty Mo. I ain't think of that, Tasha. You on to something. God dang. Oh. Dang. Boy. See, I ain't think of that. No, she didn't. She made one statement about Charles and apologized. While they was by that pool, it was Shamea that said, I seen him out in the street. Porsha just said she better leave me alone before I sleep with her husband, because you kept accusing her of sleeping with her husband. So Porsha went to doing that whole talk. Oh, you keep messing with me, I'm gonna sleep with your man. No, we, around here we keep the story straight. Ain't no point in gossiping if you can't keep the story straight. Yeah, something wrong. Shakuru, something wrong, sis. Something is wrong. But look. She made a joke and apologized for it. She did, but that wasn't saying nothing about the man. She said, I know something about Charles. She apologized for it and told the lady, I didn't even know you to make a joke like that. I'm sorry. Shamea kept on. And then when Shamea sat down with her this season, the first thing Shamea did when Angela and Shamea got into it was talk about Charles. Charles leave home and don't come back till late. Hey, CC, remember she did that? Try to keep him home. She called Angela Precious Charles, because that's her Precious Charles. Hey, Bap, thank you for being 197. She called her Precious Charles a hoe, and then Angela called her a hoe. And then Shamea been crying ever since. Angela loved that man more than she loved herself. You shouldn't have mentioned that man. And then Shamea kept mentioning that man. Oh, your husband don't like you. Your husband leave and don't come back. Try to keep your husband home. And that girl proceeded to call you every type of hoe she could come up with. Cece say, I did notice the table blow up got Kelly back following behind Shamea. Shamea didn't like the breakfast convo about the girls' good talk the night before. No, she ain't like that. Because Angela said she didn't get on her back calling Shamea a pro. Yeah, now she did say that. She said, but mind you, hold on, Kiana. We got to keep it straight, right? If Angela and Shamea is bickering, Angela said something about Shamea. She said, I ain't had to lay on my back to get on my feet. Shamea, the ball came back across the net. Shamea could have hit that ball back to Angela and said anything in the world about Angela. But Shamea didn't do that. Instead of Shamea keeping it Angela and Shamea on Angela and Shamea decided, I'm going to talk about Charles. And so Angela kept it on Shamea. You called her husband a hoe and she called you one. Simple. If you don't want to be called a hoe, don't call nobody else one. Angela's done plenty wrong. Angela's a mean old thing. I'm not saying she right for attacking people for talking about Charles, but I'm going to say this. If you talk about Charles, you better be ready for whatever smoke she bring, because everybody knows if you mention Charles, she coming at you. She coming dead at you. Now, that's what she doing. If you ask me, Angela more upset about you mentioning Charles than talking to her daughter. And I know you ain't asking me, because you know I don't like Angela Oakley. I know you ain't asking me. Okay? Right. And don't go crying to your mama either. Don't go crying to your mama. Yeah, Angela knows Shamea is spirited, but guess who ain't crying to their mama? Angela ain't crying to nobody. Angela was up there stomping through the house like she wanted to get at you. Angela gonna defend that man. Angela gonna defend that man. Yes, she is. Lord knows, God help her. Wouldn't be me, but she sure is. So listen, after all that, Pinky trying to rationalize, K. Michelle talking about like, oh, I know this ain't her. You know, I know her and I know who she is. And this is not who this girl is. And I have watched her turn into a monster. So I'm like, dang, K. Michelle, she turned into a whole monster? That's what she doing? No, because I feel like Sarah would love to sit down because she wants some of Diane's shine. Let Sarah sit down by herself. Three mules for Sister Sarah. Shakuru say, Shamea been doing interviews to manipulate the fans. It didn't work. We can see clearly who is who. Show can. Hey, 66 Seattle. Miss Nisi says Shamea need to worry about Jera. She better not mess up her lifestyle. Oh, mean-spirited. Oh, yeah, Shamea very mean-spirited. Oh, yes. Now, why are you calling that woman dirty? We can't call neither one of them old women dirty. We don't know nothing about the dirt. Now, we done seen messy. We done seen gossiping. We done seen who say little slick stuff, but we ain't seen nothing about them old women to be calling them dirty. Now, let's not do that. If I don't let y'all sit up and call Shamea 50 hoes, y'all surely not going to come up in here and call these old women no hoes. Now, don't do that. Toria say, Shamea can't let go of nothing. She's so lame for holding grudges on a reality show. You right, Toria. But, in a way, and I'm going to say this, in a way, you right. Because the grudge that Shamea holding ain't got nothing to do with a reality show. That's a grudge she done had probably since she was a child. This ain't new. Them people got real connections, Hyper say, ain't nobody noticed how Shamea told everybody at the table that Porsha was manipulating them. She was seeing red and couldn't believe Porsha and her enemies are not frenemies. That right there. See, I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on with the notes. The bottom line is Shamea tried to out-reptile the Black Mamba. Shamea tried to out-reptile the Black Mamba. Now, those of y'all who are familiar with me in this platform, y'all know who I call the Black Mamba. I call Porsha Williams the Black Mamba. That's a reptile if I ever seen one. That is a deadly snake right there. I mean, that snake is deadly. Shamea thought she had studied Porsha's reptilian moves so well that she could do her moves on her. That's what happened here. We saw Porsha pull the Black Mamba on Nene. We seen her pull the Black Mamba a little bit on Candy. We done seen, we've seen the reptile come out of Porsha. But at the end of the day, Shamea thought she had studied them moves and she was going to pull the Black Mamba on the Black Mamba. You can't out-snake a snake, baby. You might be a snake, but you a different breed. You can't attack the way the Black Mamba attack. It don't work like that. You tried to use her moves on her. You tried. Every now and then that works, but it don't always work. When somebody been operating a certain type of way their whole life, they are expert at that. You not ever gonna outdo that girl at being a snake. You can't do it. I was watching a UFC match this years back. I want to say 2013, about 2013. And it was, what's that boy named? John Paul Jones and Chael Sonnen. And they kept saying Chael Sonnen is a master grappler. Chael Sonnen is a master grappler. If he get John Paul Jones on the mat, it's over for John Paul Jones. Well, guess what happened? John Paul Jones, that tall black fella, got Chael Sonnen on that mat, and he out Chael Sonnen. The problem is Shamea overestimated herself. I believe with her mama's coaching, she thought, I'm going to out snake the snake. And that snake bit the piss at you. That snake literally coiled up in the corner, let you go around making noise, snapping and biting and going on, refused to come at you, no matter how much you provoked her, refused to come at you. And she sat right there in that corner, refused to take any of your bait until you got so frustrated that you ran at her. And as soon as you ran at Porsha, you ran into a trap because she's been a snake longer than you, and she's better at being a snake than you, Shamea. Now, that's just what that is. You tried to outsnake a snake and you lost. And now you want everybody to feel sorry for you. I don't. Who told you to outsnake a snake? If I'm into it with a snake, I'm going to get a shovel or a hoe. I'm not finna get down, put my belly in the dust, and try to out reptile a reptile. Shamea, you lost. You lost. Your mama sent you out there to try to get her because she got an issue with the mama, and you lost. You lost. That's all. Yeah, it just ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Simple. Not Porsha, the queen of snakes. She might be. She might be. Simple as that. Simple as that. Hey, VJ, thank you for being 207, baby. The rest of y'all hit the like button. So anyway, the next scene we get, Pinky on the phone talking about money. She in tears. People don't realize how much money it takes to run a multi-million-dollar business. Girl, you could just say run a business. Every time Pinky mentioned her business, a multi-million-dollar business. Oh, it's so much involved. You know, physically I'm here, but mentally I'm not here. I'm somewhere else. I can't never take a break. What am I paying people for doing all this? And this is one time, as much as I don't like Angela Oakley, God almighty more. Angela wasn't wrong. Angela say, we in here crying over money. She say Pinky whole identity is money. She shows up as Pinky with the money. Pinky with the money. And she said there's more to Pinky than money, and I hope she, you know, figures that out. I hope she gets to know that. And I said, wow. Wisdom came out of Angela Oakley. I be John Brown. But Angela wasn't wrong. So she went trying to console her a little bit, I guess, the best she can. Angela don't really strike me as a very warm person. But it was, I did see a sincere attempt at warmth for Pinky. But Pinky need to let it go. If it's that bad, girl, let something go. If you holding up the sky and your arms tied, child, put your arms down. Okay, sometimes that'd be a blessing, but it is a lot. We tired of hearing about bankruptcies and vegan bankruptcies and non-vegan bankruptcies. We tired. If it's beating you that bad, let it go. Then she say, you know, she done sacrificed so much, and she almost lost her marriage and lost time with her children, and she couldn't be intimate with her man. I don't want to know about all that, Pink. We don't want to know about that. You know, just go tend to your family. And she's like, you know, that she was happy or broke, and she crying about rich people problems, and they owe more money, more problems. And then here comes Drew, the afterthought that she is. And I'm not making no apologies to no Drew Sidora fans. Drew Sidora is the afterthought of the century. The most attention she got was K. Michelle and her imaginary beef with that girl. Okay. Because here she go talking about something. I know that's right. Drew, how the hell you know? How would you know? I know that's right. More money, more problems, and this and that. How would you know? How would you know? Because your money has been gone and you don't seem happy about it, Drew. You don't seem happy about it. The Bravo checks went to rolling in. Now you look happy. I didn't see you looking happy when your money was bad, Drew. Stop that. Just don't be knowing what to say. Just want to include yourself. Stop. Riri say, I know we moved on, but Shamea sound crazy asking why PJ don't come over for play dates. Child, we ain't even got there yet. Don't worry. Put a pin in it because you're going to bring it back. I don't know if they're going to let Pinky go, but I want Pinky to get a grip. What's confusing to me is she's still opening all these new locations while struggling to maintain the current ones. It don't make sense, and it don't. And it don't. Say thought she was just going to get all this sympathy for being a friend. There you go. But listen, so after all of that, they, you know, more money, more problems, boo hoo hoo. So then you got the party bus. They getting ready to head into town and have some activities and, you know, leisure time. They're going to shop. They're going to go eat and all these things. And Cynthia going to meet them downtown because she had to go to the pharmacy. Kelly got on a McDowell's outfit, and I thought that was actually cute. Not sure how it fit into this trip other than the plaid, but she definitely had on a McDowell's outfit. Angela in the confessional clowning, talking about this is really coming to America. Making jokes about Shamea and the African garb and saying that she done gave Kelly a job at McDowell's and Kelly done clocked in. I said, I don't have time for this, but whatever. So they asked her where she got the outfit. She's like, my man bought it or whatever like that. And this is where, you know, she's talking about what he done spent on her, and Shamea introduced her to the man and all that. Phaedra tickled most of our souls. I think it's safe to say, in the confessional, when she was like, girl, get your priorities in order, bills, not teeth. If a man got 70 racks to hand you and you struggling with bills, she was like, that's when you tell him to get you some Crest whitening strips and get and ask him if he'll just hand you the rest in cash where you could settle some of your stuff. And Phaedra wasn't wrong. Then she went to talking about that the man is nurturing and love and light and hunching and some money. And then she said he was a Pisces. I said, oh, she don't even know what kind of hell she in for. She better get whatever money she can get from that man and run for the hills. I'm going to say it again in case anybody in here has recently met a Pisces man and you don't know that you should lace up your Nikes or your Diodoras or your Reeboks or whatever sneaker you got on. Lace them up. Get what you can get quickly and run. Don't look back. But yeah, she put all that in there and the hunching and all that. I'm like, girl, how you even manage to have the energy or the desire to be hunching in your money bag? I don't know about any other woman in the world, but this to me goes back to what Phaedra said, get your priorities in order. Because if my money bad, I ain't got no coochie. I'm going to just say that. Hey, Couture Bay, our gorgeous niece just rolled in. Hello, gorgeous. I ain't got no coochie. If my money bad, everything bad. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got a warm handshake. I ain't friendly. Hell, if my money bad, I can't even pray for you. Nothing. I got to get my stuff together. Don't look for me to be social friendly or anything else if my money bad. But, you know, shout out to Kelly. I mean, I guess some people, you'll find out. You'll find out. Yeah, make a mental note. You'll find out. Not even a piece of chewing gum. I have nothing for you if my money is bad. Money bad. Hunching who? I ain't gonna say too much. It's young people listening. Okay, nothing. I have nothing for you. Nothing. Okay, not even a good word. Why she hunching and he ain't paying no bills? And she talking about some he pouring into me and he nurturing me and pumping me up. Nasty. So then Drew went to talking about she done had a hysterectomy and all that. Phaedra went to talking about the pelvic flow dropping. Too much. Then they went to talking about Drew. Drew said that the therapist be helping her. Right. Yuck. Money bad, but you cracking it open. How? Alita say, but wait, oh, how my money bad and I'm trying to manage somebody else's paper? It ain't gonna work. No, it ain't gonna work. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She must be, because she said the man was pumping her up, Couture Bay, and then she demonstrated like a bicycle pump with a handle on it. She demonstrated the pumping her up. Demonstrated. So maybe she is. Maybe that's why she's so small. Maybe that's why she's not the right height. I don't know. I ain't touching it. But anywho, Drew went to explaining, talking about the physical therapist was having to digitally insert in her to help her pelvic floor, and it takes 5 minutes or something like that. K Michelle was like, Drew ain't doing nothing but lying. She wanted them people to put the fingers and all like that. Yeah, no. That whole conversation made me very uncomfortable. This is one time where I'm perfectly comfortable saying that I am clearly too Baptist for that conversation. And so I'm gonna leave it at that. They decided to do group Kegels. I don't even know how you do group Kegels. All of that was too much for me. Way too much for me. I was not ready for that conversation. Never heard of that treatment from a physical therapist either. I have friends who are physical therapists. I've never heard of that. But yeah, I don't know what's with Drew saying that stuff. You know, at this point, I hope she lying. We know Drew lie a lot, but I hope she lying this time. That was horrible. So then after the group Kegels and Porsha proclaiming herself the tightest, again, overshare. Madam, we don't want to know about the condition of your Sally. Let me rephrase. I don't want to know nothing about the condition or the elasticity of your Sally. That is way too personal. I don't know why they think, you know, the sleazier the better, but it was too much for me. I'm moving right along. So they met up with Cynthia, and they was at the shop with the people that sell the kilts and the scarves and all the tartan stuff, the plaid stuff that we say plaid, they say tartan. I'm assuming it's the same thing. Hey, Jay is a gym mate. Thank you for being 217. The owner came out and greeted them. Apparently, it's a family business, and he's teaching them about the different tartan patterns and how they represent different areas and families and all that stuff. And he had all the samples in their little book or binder or whatever. We find out their kilts are made by hand. I found that to be very, very, very interesting information. Y'all know I love fashion. I love everything about it. I don't care what part of the world it's from. So I thought that was interesting. It was nice to see the level of skill going into it. And we find out that it takes 12 to 16 hours to make one kilt for one of these gentlemen by hand. Okay, so he said the men wear kilts, the ladies wear sashes, and that Porsha's gonna pay for all the ladies to get a sash. Hey, Arisha, thank you for being 274. Yeah, so I just thought that was really nice. Because at first it was gonna be Porsha and Phaedra, and Porsha said, well, I should just pay because it's your birthday. So I thought that was really nice. You know, I thought that was really, really extremely nice of her to do that and make sure that, hey, girl, this your birthday. I'm not going to have you chipping in on this. I know we did a trip together, but I'll buy these helpers some sashes. It's your birthday. Put your wallet up. Shamea couldn't help but saying, yeah, I'll send you a cash app. And I'm like, nobody asked you to send anything. Nobody mentioned you sending anything. Of course, Kelly's sitting there talking about, ooh, do I have a budget? If Porsha say for you have a budget, because I guess she knows something about Kelly we don't know. Maybe Kelly one of them people that get loose in a store and just start grabbing stuff. So like, hey, you got a budget. So I thought that was a cute little moment. And yeah, I was like, yeah, it was the whole I'll send you a cash app. She wanted a response that she did not get. It was just kind of pitiful. It was kind of pitiful. But move right along. They get to the restaurant. Well, they head into the restaurant. I couldn't see who it was that asked Phaedra, what kind of restaurant we going to? Phaedra said expensive. I say, that's my kind of girl. You know, the Georgia in Phaedra sometimes tickles me. Still not a big fan, but the Georgia in Phaedra does tickle me from time to time. They got to the restaurant. They said when it came to drinks, they said one of everything. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. When they went to ordering drinks, I'm sitting there waiting like, K. Michelle better not order straight whiskey again. She had better not order straight whiskey again, especially after what she told us about the pain management and them 15 surgeries, okay? But we didn't even get that far because Angela Oakley was like, give us one of everything. I said, oh, wow, y'all bold in another country, because I just wouldn't do that. Not all from home. Not all from home. Okay. It was a bit much. It was a lot. Oh, yes. But, you know, I say y'all bold. I guess they figure they got production. They got the camera crew and everything like that. So they got one of everything. Kelly over there playing at Porsha like, ooh, Porsha, you need another girlfriend. I like this Porsha. Porsha got the credit card. She let me buy stuff. And she's like, oh, you know, I like Porsha when she dating girls and all that. And it's like, Kelly, shut up. Because Porsha hadn't done nothing to you when she was dating men or girls. She didn't do nothing to you. You was upset with her initially because you found out you and her dated the same man. which was the same man that let her see them text messages on their phone from that other man you was hunching that he was friends with. Okay, so don't pull that, oh, you like her now that she dating women. What it is you didn't really have no real beef with her, and so you ended up backing off of the fake beef that Shamea put you up to. Girl, we see you just like we see the rest of them. K. Michelle is a lush. That's why she makes no sense. Drunks never make sense. I think it may be a little deeper than being a lush, though, Jay. Bianca said when Kelly asked Porsha if she wanted another girlfriend at the table, Shamea instantly got pissed. Instantaneously. Her whole face went, I get balled up. She ain't like that. She ain't like that at all. No. Hey, Belize and JB, thank you for being 221. Okay. So then, Angela gonna ask Drew what's going on with the music. I guess Angela is always the person to try to swing the conversation to Drew Sidora, because without somebody swinging the convo to Drew is stuck trying to insert herself in other people's conversations where she don't fit. Okay, so it was so funny to me. Now she got tight face, Lord. So Drew was like, "Oh, I got a song coming out with Ray J." I'm sitting there when she said Ray J, I'm like, Negro Ray J? Brandy brother? K. Michelle in the confession of being shady as hell. Production called her out on it. She's like, no, for real, it might be a good song because delusion and delusional sometimes make a good song. Kay, shut up. That wasn't witty or nothing. Her whole dislike of Drew Sidora is so forced. It's so forced. Like, Drew ain't did nothing to you. I don't like Drew, Kay, but Drew Sidora ain't did nothing to K. Michelle. Can we just be very honest? Drew ain't done nothing to that lady. Nothing at all. Not a blessed thing. So she reaching for something shady or negative to say and can't come up with nothing. So she's saying stupid stuff, talking about delusion and delusional might make a good song. If the song turned out to be good, I'll be shocked. But it is weird as hell to be talking about, oh, me and Ray J got a song. You and Ray J. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Not even girl. Girl, bye. Okay? So after that, Pinky talking about she gonna be a backup singer, and she tried to do her little weird singing, and it looked creepy and cringy. And Drew was like, if somebody say, oh, Pinky held a note, Drew said she held it, but I don't know what note it was. This one time I had to agree with Drew. I don't know what note that was, but it was cringy as hell. I don't know why she did that. And not only did she do the weird note, she went to waving her eyebrows up and down. I'm like, oh, Pinky is so cringy. She's so cringy. I couldn't. So then here comes Drew. Why she had to bring up Dennis at that table, I don't know. But this is where things went left. So you could tell Shamea was waiting for a way to segue this into something about her. I don't know. I don't know how you segue. How did you segue that into any of that? So she's like, oh, I met up with Drew and we was with Dennis, and we was talking about, you know, the music or whatever, and we was catching up and talking about y'all relationship and the co-parenting and all that. And I asked if y'all was gonna work it out, or if he wanted y'all to work it out, however she put it. And she was like, girl, he sounded sad, and he said she don't want me and whatever like that, right? And so Porsha was like, you know, not really feeding into it too much. But then she's basically was saying, well, Angela asked her about Mike. That's what got Porsha really talking, because she didn't really give Drew a lot of feedback. But Angela was like, well, there was his issue with the Mike. Well, you know, what was his thing with Mike? Was Mike a problem for him or whatever? So Porsha was like, Mike was kind of like, whatever, you know, you don't really know that dude, or, you know, he be doing whatever, don't really know who he dating or whatever like that. And she say that was kind of whatever. She say, but when she started dating the lady, the Sway lady, that's when Dennis really went to acting different. And so I think Pinky was the one that was like, is it because she a girl or whatever? So then we get Porsha in the confessional saying that she don't feel like Dennis should have nothing to say about who she date. They both have been responsible parents, and I appreciate her giving him his props for being a good parent, because we do have to separate things sometimes. Somebody can be a great parent and a horrible husband or a partner, a spouse, or whatever. Likewise, when it comes to women, some women are awesome mothers, but they ain't fit to be nobody wife. It could be that. So I was glad that she at least gave him that. She didn't try to drag him and say he was no bad daddy or nothing like that. But she was like, he need to just trust my judgment, because I ain't finna have nobody around my baby or whatever, yada yada. He don't need to have nothing to say about that, because I don't know who he dating and don't care to know who he got over there like that. So boom, right? So she said that, she's like, because, at the end of the day, she don't play by Pilar. She not finna just have any and everybody around Pilar. Here comes Shamea. What this got to do with her, I don't know. You not Pilar mama. You not Dennis. You not Porsha. You ain't one of Pilar grandmamas, grandaunties, nothing. So what that got to do with you? So here she come. Well, like with Dennis, because Dennis talked to Gerald and he said that you didn't want Pilar over there. So, girl, y'all don't get along? Is you stupid? Are you dumb? So she said that or whatever. And so Porsha was like, look, girl, if I don't like somebody or somebody don't like me, hey, happy to be happy. If somebody don't like me or we don't get along, we not friends, I'm not going to have my child around you. Like, that's just it, and that's just all. That ain't no special thing. We got to part company. But on that one, in the notes, if y'all can see, in the margin, I put a special note over here. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm trying to. Okay, I put a special note in the margin. The regular notes are here. But in the margin, you can see I put a side note, little sub note. But in my sub note, I had to put, Porsha, what about Diane? Porsha, what about Diane? See, this is where the Black Mamba gets on my nerves. One of the ways, because she gets on my nerves in so many ways, right? If somebody don't like your mama, they don't like you, dummy. When it comes to Pilar, you can see this lady don't mean you no good. She evil as hell. She don't mean you no good. So you're not going to have your child around her children, because then they got to be around her. Well, right back at you, Porsha. Them people ain't like your mama. And you knew they didn't like your mama. You knew they had an issue with your mama. You know they played dirty with your mama. So why the hell was you over there around that woman and her child? See, Porsha, one of them people that can't see the wrong until it's up close and personal. When it's her baby, then you can be careful. But you Diane's child. I don't care how old you get. And you still around this woman and her child. Ma'am, you tried Diane on so many levels. This is why I say I have critiqued Diane on certain stuff, but I kind of take it easy, because Porsha done tried Diane a couple times. And I just find it very funny that don't nobody see it, because Diane's pretty. Diane pretty, so, it don't matter how her child disrespect her. It don't matter how her child try her. We're going to pretend like we don't see that. Diane need to be evil because she pretty. It's always a certain sort of person that feels that way, and they always look a certain way too. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to move along. But I just find it real funny that Porsha can see 20/20. She got 20/20 vision. She got X-ray radar infrared vision when it come to Pilar, but when it was her and Diane, she couldn't see it. But I digress. It is what it is. It's water under the bridge, but I had to point it out because it was working on my nerves, okay? Moving right along. So she said that, and to me, I felt like, Shamea, you should have understood that, because if somebody don't like you, you shouldn't trust your children around them either. But no, Shamea wasn't done, because she wanted to fight with Porsha. She couldn't get a rise out of Porsha all season long. She'd been looking and moving and shucking and jiving, and it ain't been working. So she wasn't going to drop it. She's like a dog with a bone. Oh, she in the confessional. Oh, well, see, you said we were sisters, and she at the table, you said we were sisters, and you better say it again. Them cancers don't be loyal. Sometimes they don't be loyal now. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Porsha's not loyal to her mama like that. She ain't, but she could see it when it's her child. But listen, so then she's like, we supposed to been sisters, and me and my sisters have, issues that don't stop my nieces and stuff from coming around and all of that. And so I'm sitting there like, you got issues with your sisters too? What the hell you did to your sister, Shamea? But I couldn't even get into that good, Because Porsha was sitting there telling her, like, girl, because Shamea kept going with it. And so she was like, look, anybody that spoke to me the way you spoke to me in them texts, and anybody that I spoke to, so she took accountability for how she spoke to Shamea in the text that she spoke to Shamea. She said, anybody that I spoke to the way I spoke to you in them texts. In other words, we was talking real rough, raunchy, and wrong to each other. Why the hell would I send my child to your house? And that's a good point. If we sitting up there talking that, I'm a beat your tail, I stomp you out, I drag you, use a bleep, 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 and use a bleepity bleep too. No, I'm not sending my child to your house. And I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care if we real blood sisters. You cross a certain line, my child can't be around you. I don't know what you think this is. Say it again, Tasha. See, Tasha said it for me. So she did that, and she's like, well, when people tried to mention about our relationship, you said wasn't nobody, getting in that, and you wasn't gonna discuss that with nobody, because that's like talking about your sister. And production played where she said, like, that's like me talking with you about Lauren, like I'm just not finna do that. And so Porsha said at that time, that's how I felt. She said, but things happened last year that changed that for me. I don't feel that way no more. She ain't got loud, rah, nothing else. You wanted the conversation, so she had the conversation with you. Okay? That's just what that was, right? So then she's like, well, you did a lot of lying last year. So I'm sitting there like, Porsha didn't even hardly talk last year. Put a 6 in the chat if y'all agree with me. Porsha skated last season doing nothing. Porsha gave nothing last season. Put a 9 in the chat if you think she worked for her check. Put a 6 if you feel like Porsha coasted last season. Porsha didn't give anything last season. So for her to say, oh, you lied a lot last season, she didn't even talk last season. Porsha did not earn that check last season. Porsha skated by on her extra rotund behind. Now that's what the hell she did. She refused to give a conversation to Drew. Drew ran around with her big sister, begging for a conversation, begging for an altercation, even crashed the girl birthday party trying to get an altercation. Angela Oakley kept trying to make something happen. And the best she got was a whole comment by the pool that she had to eavesdrop on. Shamea tried to get something with that dinner meeting with Porsha, and Porsha got up and left early. And then talking about even with Andy, what you saying you wanted me on that show. And that was a lie. Andy Cohen sat there and told you, no, she did want you on the show. So then she went up there and she started repeating what she said to Carlos King. So, I had to go get my notes from when she did the interview with Carlos King, because y'all know I keep it straight. Talking about, you said that you got the singing and the acting and all that, and it'll be good for you to be a friend of, but I don't want you to be full-time and whatever. And so Porsha looked her dead in her face and she was like, I don't know why you lying. She said, you sitting up here lying and I don't know why you're lying. I say, now that is the story she told Carlos King. Now she telling Porsha this, and Porsha telling her to her face, you're lying and I don't know why you're lying. I don't know what you're lying for. And I'm sitting here like, let me zero in and see if I can read these heifers' faces so I know who lying and who ain't. So I'm looking. You know how the cats be in here looking? With two people talking, the cats will go this way and this way. They watch. That's what I was doing at the screen. So I'm staring. I say, let me see who flinched first. Let me see who face turned first. Let me see who blinked first. So they're going back and forth. And, I'm not lying. And Porsha like, why would I lie? Why would I lie? She said, that ain't what happened. She said, you lying, but I don't know why you lying. So I'm sitting up there and I'm watching the faces. Shamea's face didn't move. Porsha's face ain't moved. So I still couldn't call it. So we sitting up there. And next thing you know, Shamea was like, she brought up the parents. And mind you, I had the notebook open to the Carlos King interview. Now I need y'all to put a 4 in the chat. If y'all remember Shamea in the Carlos King interview telling Carlos King, well, when we were in Scotland, Porsha's the one that brought up parents. Put a 4 if y'all remember that. She literally said, Porsha's the one who brought up parents. Y'all recall that? Put a 4 if you remember that. Put a 4 if you remember. If I need to grab my notes, I can. Because my other notebook is right here. It's right here. Mm-hmm. Because he asked, why did you know what is that why you brought up the parents? And she said, oh, I'm not the one that brought up the parents. Porsha brought up the parents. Y'all, I see the photos in the chat. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah, she say Porsha the one that brought up the parents. And if y'all recall when we went over that, I said then Porsha had all I'm not Porsha, Carlos had already heard because Carlos circled back around and asked her again, is that why you brought up the parents? He gave her two chances to tell the truth, and Shamea kept telling lies. Carlos already knew Shamea was the one that brought it up, and we saw tonight. Shamea, you the one brought this up. You brought this up. And then sat up there and lied bold face. Baby, I got a bunch of notebooks. And I don't throw out my notebooks like I don't delete no videos. So anything I ever took notes on where I got to stop, start, replay, and write down what you said, I have a copy of it. I have a record of everything everybody done said. Okay? Okay? So she sat up there and was like bringing up the parents, okay? And talking about, and my mom and your mom had issues years prior to my mom buying the daycare and yada yada, right? And so Porsha goes, well, I don't care what our parents did, because Portia's talking about her child. Remind you now, this conversation that Shamea interjected herself in, it was Drew and Porsha talking about Dennis and her dating Mike and Sway. Shamea pushed herself in it because she wanted to be a part of this conversation so bad, made it about Pilar. Mind you, in the confessional, Porsha saw through it. She was like, girl, she poking at me with what she know matters. She know I care about Pilar, so she poking at me with Pilar. I see what she doing, and it ain't gonna work, right? So anyway, y'all talking about the children, you bring up the grandparents. So of course, Portia's like, I don't care what our parents did. She letting her know, like, girl, we not like that no more, and I'm not sending my child to your house. So, you know, when they were showing the clips and she was like, I don't care what our parents did, I'm like, why would she say you don't care what your parents did? Now we got context, because I wouldn't be wanting to hear about no parents either. And you trying to convince me to send my child to your house so you could do whatever. Why do you care that much to be trying to get me to send my child to your house? Girl, you better go sit in your big, nice mansion and mind your business, because my baby ain't never coming over there, right? But anyway, so after she said, you know, I don't care what our parents did, and then she was like, yeah, your mom did something to my mom first. And after Porsha said, I don't care what our parents did, and she was like, but you posting about what my mom did, but you didn't mention what your mom did to my mom. And I'm sitting there like, girl, Porsha wouldn't have never posted about your mama had you not got on screen last season in front of the camera and the audience with Cynthia Cheekbones Bailey and said, well, our parents don't get along because of something Porsha's mama did to my mama, but I'm not going to talk about it. You were blowing a dog whistle then, trying to get the fans to dogpile and attack Miss Diane, just like they like to attack pretty people. Miss Diane is a pretty person. And you felt like, I'm going to get them to attack that lady. And when Porsha saw that episode, that is when Porsha went to Instagram and told you, wrong road. She do not play about Diane, and said that don't act like your mama didn't do something egregious to her mama. Now that's what happened. She didn't even go into detail like that. It came out on social media, and then after that, then Porsha confirmed it on social media. And so when she brought that up about the post, and she told her, she was like, girl, that wasn't no secret. Everybody already knew about that. And so that didn't dissuade her, because she still wanted to try to embarrass Miss Diane. Mind you, Shamea, all this happened because you tried to get people to attack Diane, and Porsha went ahead and sprayed you and told you basically she'll beat your tail about Diane when she told you wrong road on Instagram. So then she jumped out. Your mama tried to sleep with my daddy, with my mama's husband. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe you. I don't bit more believe you than nothing. I believe your mama insecure and weird, just like you. I do believe that. I believe that your mama felt threatened because she had a really pretty friend. And that's the story she went with. Now, that's what I believe. I don't bit more believe you than nothing. And I don't know that I believe what Porsha said. but I believe her mama might have said that to her. I don't know. I ain't getting in it because them two was friends. They might know each other dirt. I don't know. But I am with Phaedra Parks on this one. And I'm mad y'all making me agree with Phaedra. Because Phaedra was like, when Porsha said, girl, your mama slept with your daddy husband, not with your daddy's brother, with your uncle. Your mama was hunching your uncle. When for Shamea to say which one, I'm with Phaedra. Which one is not the right answer, baby? The right answer is you a goddamn lie. That was the right answer, talking about which one. Porsha said, I don't know the names of your uncles, but that's what's out, that your mammy was hunching your uncle, was hunching your daddy brother. I say not keeping it in the family, Lord. Which brother was not the right answer? What the hell you mean, which brother? Because if you say Emily was going with any of your brothers, use a lie. Use a lie. Use a low down, dirty black lie. You lying through your lips and your anus. Pink Pilates Princess say this vitriol definitely stems from the mama. Sure do. Yeah, Shamea daddy. She probably caught Shamea daddy looking at Diane. I don't believe that. I don't bit more believe that than nothing. She said, which one? Which one? That's what she said. Right. Thank you, Couture Bay, because had it been my mama, it would have been never ever. You a goddamn lie. Deborah say Shamea wanted in the worst way to get Porsha's attention. Yeah, and now you got it. She tried to outsnake that snake, and that snake bit the piss out of her. See, I'm going to tell y'all what I think. Y'all want to know what I think? Can I tell y'all? Hey, Smortland. Y'all want to know what I think about this, about the way this went down? Because, see, they've been knowing each other too long. Okay, I feel a little Otis Redding coming on. I've been loving you too long to stop now. They've been knowing each other too long. They've been knowing each other family business too long. Okay? You don't just recall everything you know in a split second. Not when you got real history like that. So what I'm thinking, thank y'all for telling me to tell it. Those of y'all who gave me permission to tell it. What I think is that Porsha wasn't finna engage with Shamea none tall, but I believe she kept this tucked in her pocket and was saying, if that heifer come in here and try to say something nasty about my mama, I'm going to put it out there that the people say, your mammy was hunching your uncle. Porsha was holding that in her breast pocket. Porsha was holding that in her breast pocket. Erisha Sims, thank you for the super chat. She said exactly, Shamea always want to play the victim. She was holding that. Porsha was holding that and waiting. See, this is why I say you can't outsnake no snake. Snakes know how to coil up and wait till you get too close. That is what Porsha did to this heifer. Shamea tried to outsnake the black mamba. The black mamba said, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm keeping my child away from you. I'm not effing with you. But she coiled up in that corner. It ain't like she didn't see Shamea coming. Shamea got so agitated because Kelly went to making up with her, playing with her, joking and going on with her, that Shamea got so frustrated that she made a tactical error. That snake is cold-blooded. That snake is not getting excited and running at you. She sat back there, ice water in her veins. It's not that she didn't see you coming, Shamea. She saw you coming and she was waiting on you. Thank you, Kimberly Day. She kept one in the chamber. That snake coiled up, had her back against the wall in the corner where you couldn't circle around behind her. And when you came over there, she popped you in the middle of your forehead. Bloop. Your mammy's a hoe that slept with your uncle. You wasn't ready. And see, at the end of the day, Shamea wasn't ready. We saw she wasn't ready. Because next thing she know, after she said which one, baby, after which one, the conversation was over. Shamea at the table screaming and yelling. Porsha still talking just like this. She talking calm just like this. She said, I knew you was coming with some mess. See, I knew you was coming with some. I say, this heifer was calm, cool, and collected. That snake sat over there with ice, water, and snow, slush, running through her veins. Let you get excited and run your behind into the trap you tried to lay for her, and then put you in the middle of your goddamn forehead with your mama is a hoe that hunts your daddy's brother. God, today. I said, what am I watching? What am I watching? Shamea up there yelling and hooting and hollering and going on. She just a hoot. She just a hoot. She just a hoot. Then she jumped up and I'm going to leave. And Kelly got up to follow because y'all say that's her landlord. So I guess she, well, not her landlady. She got to follow her landlady. And so she gets up and walks out. Then when she walks out, and it's talking about, I'm not messing with her. She this type of person, and I ain't effing with that. But you were. You're throwing a hissy fit because she wouldn't F with you. So she walking out the restaurant. You already lost when you got to get up and walk out. Mind you, Shamea, you brought the conversation to the table. Sugar, you brought all of this. This was you. You cooked this big bowl full of funk. And then had to get up and run from it. And then while she walking out, Kelly like, wait, I'm gonna go with you. I ain't gonna let you go out by yourself. And she, and see, I don't have time for this. What she say? Porsha just didn't want me here. I made mistakes and I talk a lot, but she do this and she want people to like her. She need people to like her because her home and her family life is effed up. I say, Shamea, tell us more about yourself. Because we don't see Porsha trying to make everybody like her. Porsha just is a typical reptile. She's charming. Everybody know reptiles is charming. Shamea, tell the truth. You're upset because you don't exude the same amount of charm. Because you're not as big of a snake as Porsha. You want to be. You nasty enough to be. But you're just not reptilian enough. Okay? You don't have the charm, dear. You don't have the charm. And instead of you learning your own particular brand of charm, you're trying to imitate hers. And that don't work for you. Maybe you're more of a cottonmouth or a moccasin. Can't call you a rattlesnake because you ain't quick enough. Maybe you like a coral snake. But whatever kind of snake you are, you ain't the black mamba. And you keep trying to use her moves. And her moves ain't working for you. Now you up here talking about she need people to like her. Girl, that looks like you. Because look like she don't have no problem getting people to like her. I don't see any problem with her getting people to like her. You seem to be the one struggling to get people to like you because there's only one of you that appears to have paid bloggers to try to push narratives because the fans don't like you. Oh, yeah. I ain't forgot, sis. It's coming up next in the notes. Yeah, then she gonna tell me, I know stuff and I can talk. Be careful because she knows stuff too. And you the one gonna cry, not her. Because when she was at the table, went to talking about, Shamea should go get a DNA test, make sure her uncle ain't her daddy and her daddy ain't her uncle. Hello, good night. Because when she was at the table, I was holding it back, see, because I didn't want to embarrass you. Porsha say, embarrass who? She said, because if my mama had done that, that would have been on her. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I say, come through, Porsha. That's why you don't try to play reptile games with a bigger snake. You don't do that. I said, oh, Shamea got off in deep water and that snake was waiting on you. She had done filed her fangs, put a gold grill on them, and was sitting there with the big joker waiting to slap the table on you. Now you walking out the door crying and going on, talking about you can't F with it. And Porsha was like, nah, I ain't effing with it. She say that here for evil. She ain't mean me no good. She say she could probably poison me. Why would I send my child over there? She might poison my child. And you ain't wrong. I don't trust her other mammy because like I say, I seen the mammy doing some rooted stuff. I know roots when I see roots. And I seen that lady doing some rooted stuff while she pretending to be saved. You can't fool me, girl. I'm from Ocala. I know what I'm seeing. Porsha would have been a fool to send her child over there. So she tried it. So anyway, so K. Michelle at the table, basically saying regardless of what Shamea do, she don't like to see nobody being ganged up on. Ain't nobody ganging up on you. You can't just keep attacking people and then be like, well, since you in it with 3 other people, I got to pretend like I'm not offended by what you're doing to me. That's bull crap. That's bull crap. So anyway, then Kay was like, well, I feel like she is devastated by the breakup of this friendship and yada, yada, yada. And so Porsha was in a confessional. She said Shamea and her mama. This after she said, you and your mama some low down dirty snakes. She say Shamea and her mama is the trash you put out on Wednesday and hope they pick it up on Thursday. I say, well, Lord. And she was like, she is low down. you know, and that's just what it was. And she ain't studying about that. She devastated by the friendship. Porsha did go on to say, she said that same emptiness and evil in the eyes that she saw on Simon, she see the same thing on Shamea, and she ain't wrong. It's very seldom I have to say Porsha hit the nail on the head, but she hit that mug on the head tonight. Okay. Then Shamea out there in the sprinter. Now this here is what took the cake for me. This the one took the cake for me, y'all. Y'all ready? For those of y'all who didn't see, she out there in the sprinter with Kelly, boo-hoo crying, no doubt ugly crying, right? Talking about, I knew it was going to come to a head. You brought it to a head. What the hell are you talking about? See, this is why I say I ain't never seen nobody like, I ain't never seen nobody like Shamea. And that's saying something. I have seen every breed of con man in the world. I ain't never seen nobody like her. Riri say that lady prayers don't go up in the right direction. That's why she always around trying to manipulate the situation for Shamea with them long prayers. Yeah. Because she trying to play with the words, hoping the words manipulate folks. Her hollering and Kelly titties took you out, huh? Yep. Something ain't right in there. Something ain't right in there. Yeah, she been talking about that girl. She have. Not Kelly in the sprinter looking sad and hungry. Listen, Kelly's stupid. She better go back in that restaurant and eat while somebody paying. She better go and eat while somebody praying. So look, so she went in there and talking about, I knew it was going to come to a head. She's so low down and talking about some, what she said. Talking about something whatever she was saying about the parents or whatever, she saying my mama slept with my uncle. That's my family. And I'm sitting there like, Shamea, you brought this out. This was your doing. You did this. Why is she acting like Porsha was at the table and just out of the blue said your mama was hunching your daddy brother? Why you act like she was just at the blue at the table, called you low down and dirty? She was talking to Drew. You inserted yourself, played dumb as to why she wouldn't send her precious baby to your house to play with your precious babies. She don't trust you or your evil mama. And I wouldn't either. Shamea, can we be for real, girl? Listen, between me, you, the four walls, the good Lord, and all the angels in attendance, we know your mama Rudy as hell. Why would she send her baby over there? Make me wonder why the hell she was going over there. But then for you to turn around, y'all talking about the baby, you swing the conversation to the mamas because you want to call her mama a whore. Now you crying because she called your mama one. Now you in the sprinter crying, talking about, that's my family. So Diane ain't her family? Pilar ain't her family? See what I'm saying? I ain't never seen nobody like Shamea. Shamea a different type of girl. That's somebody that'll walk up and hit you, and then if you hit them back or you defend yourself, I can't believe she hit me. Why did you hit her first? Shamea is weird. Weird. Top tier freaking weird. That was the crime for me. Then we see in the coming attractions for next week that, you know, everybody having a good old time or whatever, they doing their thing. They going to party and all that. I saw Porsha make a statement that the rest of us been kind of seeing. She was like asking the question, is this some kind of destiny swap? Is she trying to destiny? I was like, boy, Porsha slow, but eventually she get there. Because I'm like, a lot of us been seeing Shamea was trying to pull a destiny swap. And that's why I personally feel like, girl, that story you told us was bull crap. I don't bit more believe that than nothing. I believe your mama got insecure behind something that Diane ain't had nothing to do with and blame Diane. And your mama been trying to destiny swap with Diane, and you been trying to destiny swap with this girl. Because you got everything else. But the one little thing that Porsha had, you couldn't stand for her to have it. Now, let's just tell the truth and shame the devil, Shamea. Because at this point, everything's out in the open. You in a sprint of crime because the girl defended herself? Really? Really? You tried to confront her for protecting her child. When that didn't work, you call her mama a hoe. Then when she point out that she feel like you feel like her mama a hoe, she let you know she feel like your mama a hoe. Y'all had a mama hoe down in Scotland. You got called a low down dirty snake. You called her one. You tried to go word for word. You got mad and walked off. And then go to crying like you can't believe she did something to you. So she was supposed to sit there and let you call her mama all out her name? And who was that at the table? Y'all gonna ask Porsha? Was that K Michelle or who was that talking about? Do you feel like this whole relationship there's no hope for it? And Porsha was like, did you hear what the F she just said about my mama? Because you ain't finna do that to me. You ain't finna do that to me. Because at the end of the day, even Porsha confirming the story about Sarah buying the daycare, she didn't call Miss Sarah a hoe or none of that. None of those things. So you thought you could legit call that woman mama a hoe and she wasn't finna fire back at you? Really? Shamea is a weirdo. She's a weirdo. And I feel like she wanted the fans to attack Diane last season. Porsha piped up and let it be known, you better keep Diane's name out your mouth. And she fell back because she was hoping, well, I might be able to get her back to thinking I'm her friend so I could hurt her again. I get another shot at her. When Porsha didn't give her another shot at her, okay, now I'm going to just come on out and call Diane a hoe. But you wasn't prepared for her to call Sarah one too. I said 3 mules for Sister Sarah. Apparently it was 2 brothers for Sister Sarah. Let Porsha and Diane tell it. And all for you to end up in a sprint of crime. My thing is this. Who do you know that try to bring that type of smoke and then cry when somebody meet force with force? Because if I come at you with that type of smoke, I'm ready for whatever you come with. Shamea go to crying like she think when she do something to people, they're not supposed to do nothing bad. It's like when her and Angela going back and forth at the table, you call her husband a hoe. When she call you a hoe, you walk out the door and go to crying to production. What is wrong with Shamea? She's weird. She's weird. Don't do things you can't stand to have it done to you. What's wrong with you? And then whatever went on next episode when they at the nightclub, they doing whatever. Shamea walk in and Porsha was like, child, I'm calling a car. So apparently Porsha is about to, lay the smackdown. I ain't filming with this hoe. And you know what happens with that. Because in my opinion, Marlo should have been back. But because Kenya and Porsha got together and said we ain't filming with her, Marlo couldn't come back. So are we seeing the beginnings of Porsha saying I ain't filming with that tramp? Because if that's what's going on, this might get very interesting. Definitely giving she can dish it, but she can't take it. It's definitely giving a whole lot of that. It's giving a whole lot of that energy. And I'm not really sure how that's gonna go for Shamea. But girl, you can't be nowhere, shooting shots, and then the minute somebody, block your shot or shoot back, you go to crying. AP say Porsha calmness was everything. It was. That heifer was calm. The Black Mamba. Reptiles is cold-blooded. Yeah, you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. You can't do that. Poetic Lyrics say, I ain't noticed she was a weirdo because I didn't watch the show. Once I watched her on Carlos King interview, I definitely saw a lot. Oh, yes. Miss Runaway Sashay Away Shamea. Yeah, Porsha tried to hold it. I think Porsha was sitting there like, long as you don't bother me, I won't bother you. But the minute she bothered Porsha was waiting to tell her about her mama hunching her uncle. Couture Bay say Porsha giving her what she need, a taste of you not built for this. That is definitely what she gave her. I mean, the biggest taste of it. I don't know that I remember anybody going to the Sprinter on a cast trip to crying in another cast member titties. That's the first time I ever saw that. I never saw that before. Auntie E would say this may be why Shamea removed RHOA from her profile. Remember, she removed it last season and then claimed it was never there, but it was. Poetic Lyrics say, but at this point, Porsha saying that for her protection because Shamea clearly means her harm. Well, yeah, I'm not saying who right or wrong. I'm just saying for Shamea to bring that type of conversation and that type of smoke, you have to be ready for people to match you. You have to be ready for people to match you. Yeah, and she wasn't ready. Kelly ain't said a word. Kelly just walked out there with you. Kelly just walked out there with you. Because she don't want to hear about that married preacher no more. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, Jay is a Gem 8. Got a point, y'all. She say she calm when she done with a person. I'm not a snake, but match your energy. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Sometimes I match energy. Sometimes you just get whatever energy I got for you. If I got it for you. But I'm definitely calm when I'm done. When I'm done with you, you can't get a rise out of me. You can't get nothing out of me. Shamea started this and wasn't ready for the strike. Listen, I tell you what I'm gonna do. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Let me get a couple more comments. I'm gonna put the StreamYard in the chat. I'm gonna let y'all, say what you gotta say, but we ain't gonna drag it late tonight because I want to relax my nerves, okay? But I'm gonna get a couple more comments while we seeing what's what. Too Feisty say Shamea did all them interviews trying to plead her case, playing victim before this episode aired, just like she did last season, lying on Brit, saying she called her daughter the R word and it never happened. Yeah, I remember that. She did do that. Because I was sitting there like, that heifer better not have did that. And we didn't see her do that. Now, she did threaten Kenya, but she did not call that baby, no slur. Lord, Poetic Lyrics say, come on, Shamea, let me help you find a rock to hide under. Yeah, she didn't get no amens from Kelly. Because Shamea sat there and caused that whole thing unprovoked. Wasn't nobody looking for her. Wasn't nobody bothering with her at all. Red say, look, I'm the same way. I distance from you before I go there. But when I have enough, I cuss you out and go back to ignoring you. Not cuss you out and go back to ignoring you. That's how it go. Nah, this ain't no Candy syndrome, baby. This is Sarah syndrome. Roasted her alive, didn't she? Calmly, too. It was a calm, slow roast. Shamea was crying about Porsha forgiving Kelly, but not her. Is this the path to forgiveness? Listen, let me tell you something. It's easy to forgive somebody you don't care nothing about. I ain't never had no real connection with you, so I can get past what you said or whatever because I don't know you and you don't know me. But if I've been knowing you for years and you trying to, do me harm and trying to harm my mama on national TV, child, ain't nobody forgiving you. Okay, Gossip News got something to say.
Hey, Auntie. I gotta say, Shamea needs to pipe it down and stop playing a victim, please. I'm tired of it.
We all
You started this whole issue with Porsha wasn't even addressing you. You've been trying this whole season. Porsha gave you nothing. You bring up her daughter, then her mom, and you expect Porsha to just sit there and be like, oh, okay, we're cool. No. But then the fact you don't even deny, you said which uncle. Why feed the entertainment of it? Then gonna go cry in the car, being like, "I knew this was gonna happen, and this is this and that." And I'm like, Porsche. I'm like, Shamea, if you don't go nowhere and stop crying, get back in the restaurant, eat your food, and leave it alone. Because you started the mess. You didn't want him to listen. Porsche told you not to mess with her. You kept poking. You got the strike.
Mm-hmm. And can we talk about the fact that she said something that awful about Diane? Porsha took it on the chin like a pro. Like she let her know, girl, I could eat that and sit here and still eat my dinner. Shamea didn't know how to sit there and play it cool after your mama got called out for hunching your uncle. She didn't know how to, she didn't have the moxie to
She did
sit
not.
there and eat and act like, oh, well, what else is going on? She didn't have it. She didn't have it in her to do. And that's how you end up in a sprinter crying, crying in a midget titties. That's how it happened. See?
That is so true. Drew, I need Drew to stop trying to insert herself everywhere. It's not gonna work. Pinky can't sing to save somebody's soul. Talk about you so do. I'm like Pinky. This is why you have multiple bankruptcies. This is why you ain't got nothing else but money issues this season. I'm trying to figure out what is Pinky's and Kelly's shared storyline. Money issues.
Listen, that's their shared storyline. But in Pinky's defense, and I never defend Pinky, Pinky was cringy as hell singing, but I feel like Pinky was trying to be funny, and some people laughed. I just cringed so hard I couldn't laugh. But Pinky was trying to be funny. Pinky ain't really trying to be no singer now. She was just trying to be funny and lighten up everything, and I think she did a good job of that. And may I say, I like Pinky better. I don't like Pinky, but I like Pinky better when she's not talking about a vegan bankruptcy.
I know.
She listen, if any minute when she's not mentioning a vegan bankruptcy, I'm grateful.
I am too. When she brings up vegan stuff or money issues, I'm like, Pinky, go back to this singing off key, please.
Yeah.
K Michelle, I just need her. I don't know. I just need an episode where she doesn't say nothing. I'll be fine with that because I'm sorry. Ma'am, you're being hypocritical. You talking about I don't understand why people want to be out when we doing other people's cultures. Ma'am, you're doing country music.
Hold on. Press pause and pump your brakes. Country music is our culture.
Okay, it's our culture. I will say that.
Yeah, it's our culture. Just because somebody else come in, colonize it, put some blonde hair, and blue eyes on it, it does not. But it don't mean it belongs to them. That's like saying because Eminem crawled out of a trailer park and managed to rap like Dr. Seuss, that now rap belongs to them too.
Yeah, we'll retract that statement.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was to say this. Okay, Michelle, I just need you to be quiet for an episode so I can have some peace because I don't know.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, Lauren, hold on one second. Let Gossip News wrap up and then you're next.
Hello, good evening.
Okay. Final thoughts, Gossip News, and Lauren, go ahead and mute your thing and turn off the show in the background because you got an echo, mama. Final thoughts, Gossip News, and Lauren, go ahead and mute your thing and turn off the
I was just gonna say, I need Tamia to go somewhere. Kelly can stay. She actually annoyed me this episode for once. I need Tamia to go somewhere.
For once. A little bit, but
I know that. Annoyed me this episode for once.
Okay. Any final thoughts, Gossip News? Because I'm gonna have Lauren up by herself because her thing keep echoing. Any final thoughts?
Not really. I'm gonna give the episode at 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10. They got a 9 from me tonight. They did. All right, Gossip News. Thank you for popping through, boo.
You're welcome. Love you too. I'll be here more often.
Okay, good. All right. Oh, Lauren, unmute, girl. Wherever you got us playing in the background, cut that one off and come on, tell us what you think. You got to unmute your mic.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here we go.
Can you hear me?
All right. I can hear you. Lauren, you here?
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes,
now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Lauren, you here?
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, can you hear me?
Still got an echo, but we can hear you. Go ahead, baby.
It's so delayed. I'm so sorry. It's so delayed. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to call in and say that I can't stand Shamea. She paints the picture of everything that everyone is saying bad about her, even with her husband, Gerald, and her with she got to have this baby. And if she doesn't have this baby, something's going to happen. No one has ever said anything bad about her and her husband on the show that we know of. But it's the picture that she paints of her and her family that everyone has come to these conclusions about her. No one is saying anything really bad about her but herself.
That's true.
And she's her own worst enemy on the show. She's her biggest gossip on the show. And this is why she is failing miserably. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry.
You 100% right, sis. You 100% right. So, all right, can you hear me really well? You can hear me? You 100% right. So, all right, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like Porsha was waiting with this whole card to pop Shamea? Okay. Do you feel because I do. Porsha was waiting with this whole card to pop Shamea?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I feel like Shamea has been trying to come at Porsha the whole season. And if she really wanted to have a minute with Porsha or have a conversation with Porsha, she could have approached Porsha to talk with her. But instead, in the very first episode, she kind of had Kelly attack Porsha. Like, what's going on with those text messages? How come I don't know what I want to know all about them? What did you mean about them? And Shamea was sitting right there and she heard Kelly. She put Kelly up to that. That is why Porsha went after Kelly, because Shamea put Kelly up to go after Porsha. If Shamea was grown, she would have went and had a conversation with Porsha like she should have. She should have had a conversation with Angela like she should have. She should have went and had a conversation with Drew like she should have. Because there was a scene in the episode where Shamea, Kelly, and Angela was shopping, and Shamea was very upset that everybody was making up with each other except for her. And
Yep.
she said that she was being very bitter and very jealous about the situation.
I agree.
And she said that she was being very bitter and very jealous about the situation.
Yep. Well, I agree, Lauren. Thank you so much for coming up.
That's all I wanted to say. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Listen, thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Gossip News, for popping up. I want to pull up Shonda's comment, because this was the other part to Shamea's story that don't make no sense. This the part that ain't making no sense to me. Shonda said, and I agree with her, so I'm just going to read what she said. So tell me this. You mean to tell me that Miss Diane and Miss Sarah Morton stayed friends for years after she tried to sleep with her husband? Something not adding up. It's not adding up because it ain't true. Sarah sat around being bitter for years because she felt like Diane could have took that man, or Diane looked at that man, or that man looked at Diane. Whatever she cooked up in her head, it wasn't no, oh, you tried to sleep with my man, because if that was the case, you wouldn't have still been friends with that lady. And you was absolutely still friends with that lady when you went and bought that daycare. See, that's what I'm saying. Shamea tell lies don't make no sense. I don't know whether her mama told her that and she repeating what her mama said. I'm with you. Something ain't adding up. Now, Smartland says, I feel Porsha and Diane has a whole treasure chest of file stuff about each other mother and daughter's marriages. I agree. Because when you know people that long, you know all they stuff. Because when that's your girl, you keep your girl stuff. You know, real girls don't go spread your stuff on Mad Day, but some girls do. Some girls do. And it's given. Sarah is the kind that'll spray you on Mad Day, or whatever she felt about you, she gonna say it on Mad Day. Diane is looking like she might be the kind that, you know, when Mad Day comes, she just don't mess with you no more. And it's kind of how Porsha acting. Like, when I'm done with you, I just don't mess with you no more. But Shamea and her mom is the kind like, oh, if you don't want to mess with me no more, I'm gonna see if I can embarrass you or something. I'm gonna see if I can make an issue for you. I'm gonna see if I can take something from you. This is some old mess. This old mess been stewing probably for over 30 years. Maybe over 40 years. Over 40 years worth of mess been stewing up. This is what we walking into. And I said last season, some of y'all were here and y'all remember me telling y'all, I said last season that these girls inherited their mother's beef. Please put a 7 in the chat if y'all remember me saying this. I called this out last year, that Shamea and Porsha are having issues because they inherited their mother's beef. I called that out then because nothing else made sense. Shamea was reaching and grasping, about to throw her shoulder out of socket, trying to make something out of nothing. And I'm like, that's giving the mamas. Too Feisty say Diana tried to take your husband and you stayed friends with her and get your get back. And your get back was to buy Diane's foreclosed daycare. That's just dumb, Shamea. Really dumb. Thank y'all for the sevens giving me credit for being a visionary, because I called it. I called that. Jay is a Gem 8 say, I think Shamea's mama lived through Shamea and is making that girl crazy. It might be. Lord, Too Feisty say, get a mama's a confessional. I got questions. I said this last season. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you for giving me credit for seeing what was going on. I saw it then. This is inherited beef. Porsha, that's why Porsha really wasn't catching on at first. She was just like ducking and dodging the girl because she didn't have no beef with you. You wanted to pretend like she did, but that girl ain't had no beef with you. You was taking up your mama beef. You was taking up your mama beef. And see, the mamas had that tension and discord, which is why Diane told you when you come telling her, oh, Shamea told me Drew was talking about me and my baby. Hey, be careful. The dog that bring a bone carry one. And then your mama got on YouTube, on Candace YouTube with you and promptly said, oh, look, Diane called me a dog. Still blowing whistles, still trying to get people to say the lady was doing something to you. Like that ain't an old saying that every black mama, auntie, and granny haven't said to us about the dog bring a bone, carry one. Hyper said, they said Shamea been waiting to get that off her chest for the longest, which is why she been bitter to everybody else. Porsha didn't give her the time to use it, so she had to piggyback off Drew. Yeah, she made up a reason to throw that out there and didn't know that Porsha had something waiting to throw right back on you. You got to be careful. You know, when you throwing daggers, somebody else might throw one too. You ain't the only person that can throw a dagger. Now, why she thinks she is, I don't know. I don't know why she thinks she the only one that own a dagger. Too Feisty say, I'll tell you this though, Shamea's mama is jealous that Diane is on that show and liked by the fans. Hence the slut shaming and her clubbing with the daughter classmates. Heavy on that. Heavy on that. Right. Diane ain't said nothing about them people on camera. We don't see Diane there talking to other castmates, trying to manipulate them for Porsha. We don't see none. We really don't see no weirdness like that from Miss Diane. Like I said, I've had my critique for that lady over the years, but that ain't been one of them. We do not see her getting in young people business. She kind of stay out the way. She really do. Nika J say Candy and Mama Morton was in Shamea's ear the whole time trying to take Porsha down. And failed. And failed. Look at Andrea. Oh, it's some pretty ladies in here. I know that's right. But listen, y'all, at this point, I can't wait for next week. Somebody Google real quick and tell us how many episodes we got left. And while we trying to find that, what y'all rating this episode out of 10? This is the first week I can give them a straight up 9. I'm going to put my 9 in the chat. I'm giving them a 9 this week. We had some stuff go on this week. I'm going to give them a 9. I got to see what's going on next week that caused Porsha to finally figure out that girl trying to destiny swap with her. I'm like, oh, you finally can see it, huh? You finally see? Her mama coaching her too. Y'all don't want to give Sarah her credit. Sarah is coaching her way more than Candy. I'm not saying Candy ain't put her 2 cents in, but at the end of the day got to end. Sarah had her hand in this. Sarah definitely had her hand in this. Kimberly Davis said, Kimberly Davis Wiley, because it's hyphenated, said Don Juan was laughing about Shamea's mother was going to clear the room. Didn't know Diane was going to clear this season. Sure didn't. And Diane cleared the season, keeping her mouth shut. Smartland gave him a 9. Okay. Belicious gave him a 9.5 from you. Miss Nisa gave him a 9. Okay. Bianca said we got 2 more episodes before the reunion. At this point, fast forward to the cotton picking reunion. Okay. Fast forward. Because I need to see what's going on. Antoinette gave him a 10. Okay. Adrian Marie, 9.5. DS gave him an 8. Too Feisty agree with the 9. Nika J gave him a 9.5. Okay. Yep. Miss Diane do be chilling and looking good. She be, in her grandma bag, minding her business. Brooklyn Queen for you on a 10. Okay. So we got to see what happened next week, because at this point, I am absolutely dying to see what wakes Porsha up. Review is a 10 as always. Thank you, boo. Magaline gave him a 9. Miss Shirley James gave him a good old 10. Bianca gave him a 9. Kimberly Davis Wiley gave him a good old 10. Girl, look, at this point, Andy might not have been lying about the reunion, y'all. He might not have been lying about the reunion. Deborah Randa gave him a 10. Our girl Tasha AK-47 gave him a 10. Okay. Wait a minute. Shamea been uploading old videos and now some party videos. But where she at? She ain't got no more interviews. She been on everybody's podcast. J. Rochelle gave him an 8. So look, y'all. I'm glad you stayed up with us too, girl. I am too. Because listen, we've been in here for 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds, and I enjoyed every single moment. I really did. But listen, y'all know what time it is. We finna get up out of here. Now, we will be back as the gossip permits. I got a feeling after tonight's episode, it's going to be some things to pop off in some of them paid blogs this week, because they know Shamea don't look good at all. After bringing up the mamas at the line and saying Porsha the one brought them up, and only to end up crying in the titties of a midget in a sprinter in Scotland. I still don't know how you end up doing that, but I know it didn't make her look good. So something tells me some things are going to pop off that we may need to gossip about, because the paid bloggers is going to come out in force. I feel them. I can feel them, ruminating and percolating. They're going to have to come out and do some damage control for Shamea, honey, because Shamea damaged the hell out of herself tonight. So listen, I want y'all to get some rest. As always, good night, sweet dreams. Remember to please say your prayers. Don't be going to sleep without praying, okay? Because there's some people out here that, they Rudy. So you got to be prayed up. You got to be prayed up, and you got to be covered, okay? So make sure y'all say your prayers when you get up for work tomorrow. Remember, stay on your toes, keep your head on a swivel. So listen, I need y'all, if you didn't like this video on the way in, make sure you like this video on your way out. Hit your notification bell. Please click all so you'll know every single time we go live on this channel. If you've already hit the notification bell and you're not getting notifications, please uncheck the notification box, the bell, and then check it back, because sometimes it'll just time out, or they'll pretend like you're not responding to it and just quit sending you notifications. So please make sure you hit that. Subscribe if you have not subscribed already, because we happy to have you here, and you like it here, and we want you to come back. Don't let it be your last time. Join Discord if you haven't already. Some of my ladies who are here, please put the Discord link in the chat. We want you in Discord. They usually know when I'm going live before anybody else, and the gossip that doesn't make it to the live stream often makes it into Discord, okay? So make sure you're in there, all right? If you want to join channel membership, there's a join button beneath the video, as well as a membership link in the description box, okay? Now, also in that description box, we have the link from my book, Little Girl, Big World. It is a survival guide for girls leaving home for the first time. It's a really, really, really great read, and we want to make sure that all of our girls are safe, okay? So make sure you grab a copy. If you go to Amazon.com and type my name in, Seanitra, it will pop right up. And if you can afford a copy and you'd like to get a copy, please DM me or instant message me in Discord, and I will see to it that you get a copy free of charge. Let's keep all of our girls safe, okay? We have the link to our storefront on Amazon. In the box, we have the link to our merchandise store, so you can get your crown gear and represent the royal family, and the link to my Amazon wish list in case you want to bless me with more notebooks. Because as our sister pointed out, I have so many. But these notebooks are here to keep the story straight, because we deal with people who will not tell the truth, okay? So listen, y'all go ahead and And, enjoy the rest of your evening. As I said before, remember to say your prayers tonight before you take it on down. And when you get up tomorrow, whether you're heading to school, work, or whatever perspective things you have to do, remember to be positive and productive, encourage the people around you, and save some energy to encourage yourself. And remember, in case nobody else says it, honey, God loves you, I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Talk to y'all again soon as the gossip permits. Bye.